Good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everyone, and welcome to KerbSide Collections with me, Adam Ritchie, a podcast about physical media collectors for physical media collectors. And join me this episode as I burrow into the psyche of a new friend I've met on Instagram, Marquez. Welcome to the show, Marquez. How are you?
I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me, man. It's a pleasure. Ever since you started following me, I've been following your page as well as the show. So I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, mate. It's like I said before. It's the pleasure is absolutely all mine. It's great to have you here, and yeah, like I said, I'd love to talk about anyone's physical media collection. So yeah, it's great to have you on. And yeah, you've got a great page as well. Did you want to, at the top of the show, did you want to what's the name of your page and what's the word I'm looking for? What's your philosophy behind your page? So what do you concentrate on the most?
So one of the biggest things about my page, obviously, I'm a huge collector of physical media. So I like really showing off new releases as well as some really nice collective pieces that come out, or some I may actually score under a really great deal when they're limited releases. So I like to share that joy to the world and also allow people to see pretty much what my tastes are in movies. I
Yeah.
look at movies kind of like a way of, especially with someone's collection. I
Mm,
look at it as like a different DNA for everybody. Everyone has a different DNA with movie collecting, and I
absolutely.
find that very unique.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good answer. So what's the name of your page? Just to plug your page for anyone who wants to follow along.
Yeah, so anyone can follow me on Instagram for the time being at Q the Movie Collector. And soon I'm working on a YouTube. So
Very
stay
nice.
tuned. Stay tuned.
Excellent. I've dabbled with that thought, but I'm too it's well, I'm too lazy for one thing, and it gets in the way of me watching movies. So I haven't gotten there yet, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to rule it out. I won't rule it out. I don't know if I want to put my face on camera too much. I'm too shy to do that. So it's weird that I even have a show where I interview people because I am a very introverted person. But you know, once I get to know people, I'm good to go. So yeah, doing YouTube is a very bold step. So yeah, kudos for doing that.
Thank you, thank you. It's gonna. I'm taking baby steps. I'm
Mm.
not just leap completely in first. Kind of want to get used to Instagram because
Mm.
Instagram is always a great place because you know what they say about pictures. Pictures are worth 1,000 words.
Yes, absolutely.
And also with lives, you said yourself, you've caught some of my lives on there, and Instagram is a really, really great place where you can interact with people. And if I ever go live when I do a YouTube, I
Hmm.
just feel like in the beginning stages for a lot of people in YouTube, it can be a little toxic there
Yes,
versus
absolutely.
where on Instagram is pretty much, everyone is friendly on Instagram. I haven't encountered any negativity so far since being on
It's
Instagram.
it's such a strange phenomenon, isn't it? Because each platform is different, and it's the same people using the same platforms, but they feel the personalities are different on each. I totally agree with that. Like Facebook is full of Facebook people. Facebook comments are some of the
Yes.
most toxic place things you can ever read, like just full of argumentative idiots. But you're right. Instagram feels like a more positive place, especially in our physical media communities. There's some. I've made some great friends since I began this journey and I've only been doing it for 5 or 6 months. Honestly, it's been yeah, and obviously yourself included. So yeah, it's a
Yeah.
very strange phenomenon. Each platform has its own personality type. It's very strange. So yeah, YouTube can be a horrible place as well. But anyway, so I'd always like to ask at the top of the show before we get into the questions, so just so you can tell the people, it might be obvious to some people, but what part of the world you're from? Because with that awesome accent you have.
So yeah. So first and foremost, I am in the United States. More specifically, I'm in Huntsville, Alabama. Which, if you're not wise to knowing about Huntsville, Alabama, it is also entitled. It's called the Rocket City, mainly because, and I'll give you a little bit of history here. So it's not a whole lot of history, but fun fact: there is a movie that was made in the '80s here that's called Space Camp. It was actually filmed at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center here in Huntsville,
Oh,
Alabama.
right. Okay.
So it's we've got some history with rockets. We build rockets and we send things into space. So that's one of the great things about this city.
That's yeah, that's cool. That's actually really cool. Are you involved in that industry at all, or no?
Not not really. History has never been like a huge thing with me, especially here in town.
Hmm.
But the thing is that our city has never really been like a United States monumental city. Much
Right.
like you got your big cities like New York City, you've got Los Angeles, California, you have
Mm.
Dallas, Texas. Huntsville's not really that well known, but it's a nice city, and I want to say I think around 2 or 3 years ago it was named the number one place to live in
Oh,
the United
wow.
States.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I had heard of Huntsville when you said that's where you were from, before we started recording. Obviously, I've only heard of Huntsville, Alabama, because of movies I've watched, obviously. So that's, you just hear it. It's
Yes.
either someone mentions it, I can't name a movie right now that has mentioned it, but I've definitely heard it more than a few times. Maybe Thelma
Oh
and
yeah.
Louise? I don't know.
I've
Um,
got one for you. I've got one
okay.
for you.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Captain Marvel?
Yes, of course. Yeah, yeah,
You remember Samuel L. Jackson said his character Nick Fury said that
yeah.
he was stationed at the,
Yeah. Huntsville.
the Rocket Center in Huntsville, Alabama.
Beautiful. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. See, now you say that, I'm like, yeah, of course. Did absolutely hear it in there. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. I like that. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'll guess on with the real questions that we're here. I loved hearing all
Yeah.
that. Why do you collect? Why do you collect physical movies, with so many streaming options?
So that's a really, really great question. I've got a very I don't want to I want to draw out the answer too long, but it's a very, very great question. So just to start from the beginning, I've kind of been secretly collecting movies ever since I was maybe I want to say maybe 12, maybe 13 years old. Back in those days, I used to always go to the Walmarts here and
Mhm.
buy VHSs like crazy. I bought VHSs like crazy it's now a defunct retailer that was called Suncoast. A lot of people that's
Okay.
listening would definitely know what Suncoast is. I used to buy a lot of VHSs then. I don't have them. As I grown older, we've lost all that stuff. But and then when I became an adult, are you familiar with a retailer here that's called GameStop?
Yes, yes. I know a lot about GameStop because of obviously
Yes.
the stock market fiasco and the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
So about maybe I think it was like maybe it's been about maybe 15 years ago. They did have like a branching off of a company that they created that was called Movie Stop.
Hmm.
And there were movie stops scattered all across the country. We had, I want to say, one here in Huntsville. And man, I used to visit there all the time. I would spend literally hours. I mean, hours upon
Yeah,
hours going up and down the aisles.
that's
They
great.
had tons of new and used physical media,
Mhm.
and then you could actually go and request them to order something. So then I had built up a collection of around, if my memory serves me correct, I want to say around maybe 800 DVDs at that time. I no longer have them,
Oh,
but
really?
yeah, I
Is
no
it?
longer have them. But and then every time I lost a collection, which that collection was lost due to a our house collapsing, which was a while back.
Oh,
And then I started back recollecting again. I want to say maybe 2 years ago. So
okay.
in a very weird and strange way, collecting has always been a part of my life with physical media.
Yeah.
I've been there for every disc format. I
Yep.
can't say tape format, but
Hmm.
and to go further into your other end of your question, what I really love collecting, I'm a big fan of boutique labels. I
Ah,
love I love chunky box sets.
that's
I'm
okay. We'll have a bit to
I'm
talk about
not
this.
overly biased towards them, but I really love chunky box sets.
Yeah.
I've
Oh,
really become a fan of collecting those.
yeah. It's great to meet a fellow box set fan because I love box sets. I will wait if I know there's going to be a trilogy in a movie set in a set of movies. I will wait for a box set to come. And
Yes.
where I can't wait, if a box set later comes, I will. If it's a nice big one, yeah, I will absolutely hunt
Mhm.
it down and try and grab it. Yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorites that I actually picked up, I want to say the later part of last year, and I waited a whole month until it officially came out. And that was the Mad Max 5 film collection.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
And Furiosa came out, I think, in August, but then they were promoting saying that this 5 film collection was going to come out in September. So I said, you know
Hmm.
what? I'm just going to wait for it. I don't
Yep.
own the first 3 Mad Max films in 4K. I
Mm,
don't. I did have Fury Road, but I didn't buy Furiosa. So I said, well, I could just give my Mad Max Fury Road to a family member, and then I'll
yep.
just have it again in this collection. So that's one of my favorites when we talk about box sets. That's like one of my favorites that I've got.
That's interesting because I didn't get, well, for one thing, I didn't get it because of the cost here, but it's not a great looking box set. The edition in Australia, I'm not sure what it's like in the US. If it's a is it a big box set there?
Yeah. So here, I've got it right here. This is why I like my position where I'm sitting. Because normally when I do my lives, I'm like right there front and center with my
Mm,
collection. So this is it here.
okay.
This is it here. Now I do have an interesting story about it. This and it's a good story. When I played the first Mad Max, because it has like this funky, I mean, it's really cool. It's got the magnetics here, and you can open it up, and I mean, it's really nice and it's beautiful. But as you can see,
Oh,
there's your Achilles heel right there.
yeah, in the cardboard. Yeah,
Yes, and I
yeah.
really dislike that
That's horrible.
because it's horrible to slide those out. You're getting fingerprints. And so last week I was going to attempt to watch Furiosa for the first time. I took the disc out. It was a struggle. It was covered in glue. When I
Oh,
wiped the glue
wow.
away, there was rust on the disc, so I immediately wrote Warner Brothers an email,
Yep.
and my replacement disc should be here, I think, either Monday or Tuesday. It
Oh,
was a
that's great.
fast turnaround.
That's really
Yeah.
good. That's really good. I think it's the same package we have in Australia, but yeah, like I said, I haven't got, well, I'm not sure what it costs you in America, but it's $180 here in Australia, which is
Oh
uh,
wow.
it's about 40 cents American at the moment. Our dollar has tanked, but just out of my own curiosity, how much is it in America? Like,
When I bought it on release date, I want to say I purchased mine for $100. It was a hundred
okay,
dollars American.
okay, that's
And
about right with the conversion rate, though,
yeah,
to be honest. Yeah. Okay. It's an expensive set, but yeah, I because I got the I have the first three on in a Blu-ray box in just a little like a normal size
yeah,
box MRA case.
yeah.
So I didn't upgrade them. I did get Furiosa in a steelbook and I have Fury Road just in a regular 4K, but so I didn't bother upgrading them because I have them. And for $180, yeah, it's not worth that price at the moment. So
Yeah, it's worth waiting for a sale. If you
hmm,
decide you want to go after that, it's well worth waiting on a sale. Or if they change the box style. Like I
yeah.
prefer things if I'm gonna do something, like give me something like this, something simple
Yeah,
as this, but put it in a nice box, like the
just an
John
MRA
Wick
case,
collection.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, you
I
get to,
have lots of I have lots of those as well. But I like looking behind you. I don't know people can't obviously see this, but you have similar to me
yeah.
your box set sitting on top of your actual shelves where you store the movies. So when you said you love boutique labels, what are your what are you are you a fan of the most? What labels are you a
Oh,
fan of? Because you have you're
okay.
spoiled for choice in the US. We don't get a lot of that. So
Yeah, yeah. So, and that's going to come back to a question I'm going to have for you too. So my favorite right now at the moment that I love to collect, and probably it's not the most that I have, but my favorite boutique label as of now is Arrow Video. Love
well,
Arrow Video. They are absolutely amazing. They
mhm.
do very great transfers, and the packaging is incredible. Like for example, you've got the simple stuff, like you got your
Yes,
normal
I
box
want that.
style.
So we didn't get that. I do want
And
witness. Absolutely. Yeah.
which I didn't think that The Witness would actually go out of print as fast as it did, which I
Yeah,
was happy I got this when I did. So you got simplistic like this, but then they'll every now and then they'll change up and do something spectacular like
Crimson
Crimson
Peak.
Peak,
Yep, yep.
which is not their traditional way of doing things.
Oh, I didn't know
Um,
that. So
yeah, there's
I held off from buying that Crimson Peak because I own the Blu-ray, and it's not a movie I will watch a heap of times. But yeah,
yeah.
that's a lovely looking box set. Yeah.
And then they have where they'll do a style very much, and this is my grail. Okay, this is one of my grails.
Okay. Yeah, the
Where
Bruce Lee box set. Yep.
they would do the Bruce Lee
Yeah, that is a fatty.
ordeal.
That's the type of box set I love. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they've got all the movies and posters, the big book.
Mm,
That this is my grail. If I had to say if I had a grail of anything in my collection as of yet, this is one of my grails,
wow. That's
definitely.
cool. I like that. That's a good choice.
Uh,
So are there any other labels that you're into?
oh yeah.
Um,
So behind me here, and I don't know if you know of this label or not. This one is very much American, but I do know they do ship international. So yes, it is. It's
yeah.
Vinegar
Yeah.
Syndrome.
Yeah.
So there's Vinegar Syndrome. I've got like my collection is broken down by sections when it comes to my boutiques. I've got my
Uh-huh.
Arrow. There's Vinegar Syndrome behind me. I've got Scream Factory, which
Ah,
is
yes.
right here, and then there's some more Scream Factory on the top there. I've got Criterion Collection,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if you saw my new post today, but my Kino Lorber collection is getting up there now.
Kino
So
Lorber. I mean, I love Kino. Look, I love Arrow and Kino are my two favorites, and for very
yeah,
different reasons. Because like you were talking about with Arrow, and sorry to butt in, but Arrow, because of the lovely box sets that they do, or just the nice fat cases, and they're very presented very well. But I love Kino. Sorry, Arrow do great transfers, and so do Kino. But Kino, I love for their
yeah,
simplicity. They will just give you the movie in the best quality they can give it to you in, and it's not just what they release. It's the titles they're choosing to release is just
yes,
amazing. The way they're delving into just these eclectic 90s titles that you never would have thought would have had a release is I love what Kino are doing.
yes. This is when you said that, that made me think of this
Yes,
because this one is one of the newer ones.
I have that on the
So,
way. Yeah, I've actually ordered that. That'll come with a couple of others I've got. Yeah.
but yeah, Kino, they are
That
kind
was
of like the best bang for your buck brand. That's what I
yes.
like to
Yes,
call them. They're
absolutely.
like the best bang for your buck because, like you said, they make it simple. They give you the
Mm,
movie in 4K. They give you a Blu-ray with it as well, which is something Arrow doesn't do anymore.
mm.
Arrow does not
No,
include the Blu-ray anymore, but
that's becoming
the Blu-ray.
yeah. For the most part, I think that's becoming the new normal with that to not include because costs are actually so high production wise. And
Yeah.
so the Blu-ray actually adds. So the fact that Kino are still doing it is interesting, actually. I noticed
Mhm.
even in Australia, we have had quite a few big releases come out earlier this year but we're literally just getting the 4K only. And these are movies that have been out in the US and the UK for I don't know anywhere between 3 and 6 months. So we just got Galaxy Quest and Truman Show and Stand By Me and things like that, but it's literally just the 4K.
Really?
Yes, yeah, we have to wait a while for our movies to get here, and I think it's because of our market share. I mean, I'm only just speculating, but there's probably a lot of reasons behind it. I think market share would be a big one. You know, we don't get Disney movies at all anymore, right? Like Disney pulled out of Australia
Yeah,
last year. Yeah.
I know about Disney, and my question also is, you guys don't really get Sony there, neither, do you?
I know we get Sony. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay,
So
okay, okay,
we don't get what Sony is doing for Disney Fox. We don't get those. So that's literally North
gotcha.
America only. But we'll get regular Sony releases, yes, but not what. Yeah,
Okay,
not the new deal. So if you want everyone in Australia, every time a big release comes out, invariably on the forums you'll get, when's this coming to Australia? It's like, it's not, it's Disney, it's Fox, it's Deadpool and Wolverine was a big one. Alien
yeah,
Romulus, another big one. So we haven't had a Galaxy Garden Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was the last Disney/Fox release in Australia on physical.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we won't get the rest of the avatars, and obviously when you import or you pay through people who do import and have local online stores in Australia, you pay quite a bit. You pay you have to want and love the film to bother doing it, I think.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
becoming a very
So
expensive hobby.
one of the things that's really shocking about when you told me who your favorites were, I'm
Mm.
surprised I didn't hear Umbrella pop up as one of your favorites.
I can,
Shocked by
yeah, yeah.
that.
Just because they're Australian,
Yeah,
some stuff they release is great. Like, I love what they do. I love that they upgrade. We get a lot of 4K Asian cinema. I like my Asian cinema quite a bit. I'm actually halfway through watching one today, and it's
yeah,
great. Zatoichi, the Blind Swordsman. I don't know if you've seen it or heard of that, but
yeah,
my
yeah,
God,
yeah, yeah.
it's so good. I'm halfway through. But yeah, I love that Umbrella do that. But they also release a lot of just stuff I don't care about. They release some random weird stuff, and I just go, I mean, I do have a lot of Umbrella titles because I'll pick them up on sale and whatnot. But yeah, I don't go out of my way, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I've
then we've
got
got,
go
yeah,
right ahead,
no,
I'm sorry.
no. I was going to mention Imprint, but we can mention Imprint. So what's your take on Umbrella?
So right now I'm in a little bit of a dilemma with I don't want to say it's kind of a love-hate relationship because I don't really have a relationship with the Umbrella right
I
now.
did see you post. I did see your note about the tracking number or something.
Yes. So my little story about Umbrella is, I've bought Umbrella through mom and pop stores that sell physical media that
Hmm.
get Umbrella, which I think a lot of their packaging, which I've never gotten one of their limited edition packages. I've kind of got
Right.
like their second tier packaging that they
Mm.
make, but
Yes.
they put out a lot of good content.
Mm.
So I wanted to take the plunge when they decided to do the Terrifier set.
Yes.
That has the what's it called, the Art Attack set. So back when they first put up for pre-orders for that back in October, I went and pre-ordered it right away. I pre-ordered it, and I also pre-ordered the Super Mario Brothers One Up edition. I
Yeah,
also
yeah,
pre-ordered that as well.
yeah.
And so at the time they said, you pre-order now, we'll make sure to have this out to you before Christmas, which I understand, hype goes into effect. I know a lot of things happen where they get some unexpected amounts of people pre-ordering things, and which I can understand things happen. But throughout the month of December, there were a number of people that were receiving their packages. And these weren't people in Australia, these were people in the States that
Right.
got the exact same thing that I did. And still, I said, I'll be patient. I even sent them an email, and they said, "Well, we're sorry, we're running behind schedule. We'll be sure to let you know when." So fast forward now, I'm seeing every single day, everyone's posting that they've got that Art Attack set,
Oh,
and I have yet to this very moment have gotten a shipping notification.
have you looked into your account and seen if it's been shipped?
Yeah, it still says that it is what is the word? It is
Pink.
unfulfilled. It's saying that it's unfulfilled.
You should email them. Absolutely. If you haven't, absolutely email them because they're pretty good with their customer service. It's Sunday here, so you might get an answer tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, I would email them and say, I'm seeing everyone's getting this. Where's mine? Yeah.
Yeah,
They'll
because
probably say, oh,
I'm experiencing a little bit of FOMO at the moment, so I really
yeah,
want
yeah.
that.
I get that too because I order my arrows mostly from the UK, directly from the Arrow website, because
Mhm.
they're same region as us, so I don't get the US ones generally. Yeah, and I see people getting theirs, and because of obviously postage, so I'm like, just hurry up, like I want mine
Yes,
too, right? So, and then you get all the influencers who are the big Instagram pages. They get theirs like 2 weeks before anyone else, so they can
they,
advertise for them. So, yeah,
yes,
yeah. One day we'll get to that status,
yeah,
Marquez.
we'll get there.
Marquez. So
We'll
yeah, we'll
definitely.
get the freebies. Yeah, I mean
You mentioned
this.
imprint. You
Yes,
mentioned
I can see your never-ending story there. Is that story? Yeah. So,
yes, it is.
is it the only thing you've ever gotten from them, or do you have anything else from Imprint?
Actually, no. What's the other one that I have from Imprint? I think there's that one, and then there's also I've got one other one from Imprint. That is the Suspiria remake.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have
Okay.
that.
Wow.
I don't have a lot of imprint. I'm trying to grow into really liking imprint, which they're incredible. I love
Yeah.
imprint. From the
Yeah.
two that I have right now, I love them. I know that is it Viavision,
Yes.
a sub
Yeah.
company of them. I've got a few
Uh,
Viavisions.
Imprint is the sub of Viavision, basically.
Okay,
So
okay,
Imprint is
okay,
their boutique arm of Viavision. Yeah. Yeah. So
gotcha.
yeah, I
And
think
I've got a few Viavisions.
yeah, I think Viavision, I'm probably wrong here, but they concentrate a lot on the TV side of things. They have a lot of really old TV shows they're starting to bring out, which is, I think it's great, but it's also odd because there's a
Yes.
lot of old TV stuff that I like because, I'm, you know, old enough. I'm approaching middle age, depending on what your definition of middle age is. But yeah, I've seen a lot of old 80s and 80s and 90s shows, and also stuff that used to be on TV all the time in the 80s, 90s, like Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie and some British
Yes.
comedies and whatnot. Yeah.
That's right. They just put out that brand spanking new Bewitched collection.
Mm,
I remember seeing that.
yeah.
Orbit DVD just got that in stock not too long ago.
Ah, yes. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I prefer Viavision slash Imprint to Umbrella, would be my preferred over those two because it's just the costings that bother me with them, to be honest. The
Yeah.
costings, yeah, because you get. I don't know if you've listened to any episodes of this show, but I do another fortnightly or monthly show with another mate where we basically talk about our own collections and what's coming from the boutique labels.
Hmm.
And there's just this running gag between us that I hate art cards. They charge you an extra $10 and they chuck in an art card, which is a picture. I'm actually going to get merch made from this, to be honest, because it's just
That's awesome.
I just it's just such a waste of time and money because you put them even. I'll get stuff with art cards and I'm just past the point. I don't even look at them. I just leave them in the case. And
Yeah.
it's not, I don't buy, it doesn't attract me to buy something. Like you're charging me an extra $10 for 6 bits of cardboard with the pictures,
Yeah.
just different screenshots of the movie that I'm about to watch. It's like, I just find it really an odd choice for marketing. Anyway, I do rant about that a lot. So if you ever go back, we do have quite a few ongoing gags with that. So yeah, it's
You're
interesting.
you're you're honestly not the first person I've heard say that, and I have a
Okay.
feeling you're definitely not the last.
I did
I'm one
no.
of the people. I don't know how to feel about them, to be honest. I don't really. I'm trying to think of an example here. The Second Sight stuff. I forgot about Second Sight. Second favorite boutique
Second
of
sight,
mine.
I don't own any
Um,
second sight, but geez, they're beautiful looking items.
Second Sight is infamous for doing art cards more than
Mm,
anyone else. They put them with every single limited edition that they make. And I could literally go to my shelf right now, pull out one of my second sights. All of my second sights, the art cards still have the wrap around it. I've never
yes,
taken them
yeah,
off. I
same.
don't look at them. They just
No,
sit there in the case.
yep. It's good if you want to unsell it sometime in the future, but yeah, I mean, just on that, I'll give you a bit of a what I would prefer, and I've actually mentioned this to influential people before, is what we should be getting. I have, and going back to our box set conversation, my holy grail box set, I have an Alfred Hitchcock box set called The House of Hitchcock. It's this beautiful set. It's got 18 films in it. It's lenticular cover, and within that,
Oh,
rather than art cards, it actually has mini posters of the original posters of the movies. So the art card size, but it's the poster of the movie. That is what we should be getting. Like if these variants of posters, if these 4 different variants of the poster, put them in because I actually have mine on display. Mine are in a picture frame and on my wall because they look
yes.
amazing. It's just such a beautiful thing to look at. And that's what we need to do rather than having pick a movie out of the dark. Like I don't know why Thelma and Louise is stuck in my head, but if you just have an art card of that car jumping off the cliff, that does nothing for me. But if you have an art card of 4 different styles of posters from that movie, and there will be from different countries and whatnot, give
Yes.
me that every day of the week.
Yes.
I would be happy to pay extra for that. Like, if you're going to charge me an extra $10, give me something worthwhile because I could
Yeah.
have an
Yeah.
entire wall on my house just covered with those little mini posters. It'd be amazing. I've
It would
even
be amazing.
Yeah, I've even actually gone out of my way and brought I don't know, of course, you know who Timu is. You would have heard of
Yes.
Timu, but they actually do these little mini posters of movies, and they're on tin aluminium sheets, and they're cheap. They're like $3 to $7, and I've ordered heaps of those, and they are great. They just look rustic.
You're-
They look, yeah, they look. I haven't got anywhere in my house to put them up, but one day when I move house or get my dream house, that's where they'll be going up. So, yeah, it'll be great across a bar or in a cinema room. They look stunning. They're just little tin sheets of the movie poster, and they're cheap as hell. So, yeah,
Yeah, send me a link to that if you don't mind
sure,
after the
yeah,
show, because I'm definitely interested in something like that. I'm trying to find things to fill spaces through here,
okay,
but I agree with you 1,000%. I would even take it a step further. I would say either do your idea or
mm.
there's this thing, I forgot who it was that first did it. If it were me putting an extra $10, something you'd pay extra $10 for. To me, I know it's not much, but my thing would be able to put a film sale in it. Since it's a limited
Oh
edition,
yes, yeah,
put a film sale in it. Like,
yeah.
talking about the scene that's in that sale and
That's a
what
great
was
idea.
going on. I would actually rather have that than have
That's a
the comments. Yeah.
I have one. I actually have one box set that has that, which is the Blu-ray was just kind of just beginning, and they released all the Star Wars, well, the first 6 Star Wars on a Blu-ray box set. This was long
Yeah.
before Disney ever took them over, and within that there's a cell, and it's of Obi and Anakin fighting on Mustafar with the volcanic sand behind them.
Really?
It looks stunning. Yeah, I should post more about that stuff on my page actually. And by the
Yeah,
time
you
you've
should
heard this,
you
you
should
might have
call
seen
it
some of these posts.
yeah, you should call it pre-Disney.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that'll be good. Before it was well and truly screwed.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So I'll get back to, well, we've discussed a lot, but we haven't really discussed much of what I want to discuss, I guess, for lack of a better phrase. But what do you watch on streaming? Do you still watch streaming at all? Or is it a big thing, or
Yeah,
you?
yeah, I still watch streaming. I just for one thing, if it's unless it's like maybe if it's a Netflix exclusive, for example, I'll watch like a movie there. Or
Yeah.
if it's like in this case, I'll give you a prime example. I've got Smile One, and I
Ah,
love
yes.
Smile One, and I don't get to go to the theaters a lot.
Hmm.
So when Smile Two went to Paramount Plus, I said, okay, well, wait a minute. Let me go watch Smile 2 there just to see if I want to purchase it on physical media.
Great idea.
And that's what I normally use streaming for. I use streaming for if I'm going to, go all the way in on a release.
Excellent.
The Substance is another
Ah,
movie how
yes.
we fell in love with it through streaming because it went to here in the States, it went to Mubi under Amazon Prime,
Yep.
and they had like a 7-day free trial,
Ah,
and I went and used it and watched The Substance because I wanted to see what the fuss was all about. I was like, man, this is incredible. I'm instantly buying it when it comes to
yeah,
physical
excellent.
media.
I love that you loved it.
So, but yeah, I use streaming for purposes like that, and I also because to me there's really they don't really put documentaries on physical media. So I use streaming for documentaries. I love documentaries.
Okay, that's awesome.
And I use it for it. Now I'm not this may shock a lot of people, but I don't really watch a lot of the new TV shows.
Mm,
I'm pretty old school when it comes to TV shows. I don't really
yeah.
like diving into the new wave of TV shows these days. So
Yeah, I'm very much the same. That's kind of what prompted the question is when we're talking about Star Wars, whether or not you watch the Star Wars streaming. I mean, are you a Star Wars fan? I should ask that first. I assume
oh
you
yeah.
are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a Star Wars fan. The only thing I haven't watched on Star Wars, and you'll probably kill me for this. The only thing there's a lot I haven't watched yet. So I started Mandalorian, but never finished it. Another one that I started was the Boba Fett series.
Yeah.
I started it and didn't finish it. I didn't watch Ashoka. I did not watch any of the new stuff that just come out.
Yep.
But I am a Star Wars fan. I just streaming and TV shows has just never really truly been my jam. I just got
No,
to
I'm
find time for it.
I'm the same. It was, and yeah, I mean, I have some hot takes. I don't know if they're hot takes anymore. I think everyone's starting to agree with me about TV shows and the streaming side of it. But I have watched The Mandalorian. I did watch Boba Fett. I did watch Ahsoka, but I haven't watched pretty much. I watched Andor is fantastic. Season 2 is coming of Andor. That's the only
Oh,
one I
okay.
would. That's the only one I would wholeheartedly recommend. Andor, it's amazing.
You know what? Now that you mention it, the only one that I did finish, and that's because honestly, I'm a I'm a bit of a Revenge of the Sith fan.
Yes,
You
yeah,
know, a lot of people
yeah,
don't like the prequels, but I love Revenge of the Sith. Hold on, just one moment.
sure.
A lot of people, a lot of people don't like those prequels at all. But me, I enjoyed the prequels. I'm not
Yeah.
a massive fan for it. You know,
Mm.
my heart and soul is with the original three. But I really loved Revenge of the Sith. And when they did the gosh, what did they call that show, that limited series? What did they call it? The Obi-Wan series.
Oh yeah, 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 sure. Yes.
I watched the entire
Yes,
Obi-Wan
sorry.
series.
I forgot that
And
existed, but yeah, I watched that as well.
I love the Obi-Wan series
Mm.
because of me being a big fan of Revenge of the Sith and
Yeah.
loving Ewan McGregor's performance
Yeah,
as
he's really
Obi-Wan,
good.
as a younger Obi-Wan. But I did finish that one.
Yes. No, I actually enjoyed Obi-Wan. I had a point I was going to make there, but I can't remember what it was. It doesn't matter. It probably doesn't matter. It'll probably come into my head later down the track. So we've kind of talked about, we've touched on a lot of things. Well, we've definitely talked about your favorite labels and distributors. So before we begin, look, clearly looking behind you, I'm just going to get into, obviously you love horror films and you collect horror films. I can see some Friday the 13th posters and that American Gothic image up there
Yes.
with Michael Myers is
So
fantastic.
now this here, this is one of my favorite things I've gotten. I don't know
Yeah,
if you
that's
can see
fantastic. I
it.
love the American Gothic take. Yeah, it's so good.
Yes, yes,
That's
yes. And then I bragged about this poster
Nightmare on
because
Elm. Yep.
Nightmare on Elm Street, the original '84. But yeah, I have a massive, massive horror collection. I love horror is pretty much kind of like my
Mm,
comfort and favorite movies to watch. Now I do have limits to what horror I do watch.
okay.
So I'm not a fan of all horror, but I love the Chucky films. I love Hellraiser. I love Psycho. I love.
Mm.
Speaking of Psycho, I was talking
Arrow
to this.
box.
Yep,
Yeah.
the
Oh,
with the
oh,
shower curtain that comes up, and this is
oh,
actually the
that's
Arrow.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I have that box set, but I don't have that cool cover on the outside, the shower curtain, and it's not that fat either. Mine. It's just that's the thinner one. I must.
I think you may have the one where they put 2, 3, and 4 in it.
Yes. Yeah.
The one I have is the limited one where they put the first one all the way through the fourth one in it. It was an extremely
Really.
limited run of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I love horror. Probably my favorite series, and this is gonna come off really cheesy, and they're all tied, would be the Friday the 13th films, the Nightmare on Elm Street films,
Mm.
and the Halloween films. They're all
Oh,
pretty much tied for me as number
wow.
one.
Okay.
I I love all three of those franchises.
I mean, they are the three big ones. They are the Mount Rushmore of horror. They're definitely the first three on the Mount Rushmore of horror series. Definitely. See, like I was saying to you before we started recording, I am a relatively recent convert to horror, which is only the last 2.5 years. I've really gotten into it properly, and
Mm.
that's my daughter's fault. Like she was watching a lot of horror when she was 14, 15, and I was like, oh, well, okay, we used to watch movies together, and I was like, yeah, actually, I don't mind these now. And it wasn't that I can't handle horror; it just wasn't something I
Yeah.
thought it's a bit absurd. But my Halloween is my favorite by a long way. Actually, I love the Halloween series.
Yes.
Friday the 13th, and I still haven't seen all of those or Nightmare on Elm Street, but I do have box sets of the complete series, but I haven't watched them all yet, and I find them a bit. I don't have the appreciation for them, I guess, because that others do, because of the I guess it must be a nostalgia factor. But when you watch it, I'm learning to come around to the intent of these films, and that's like
Yes.
I've rewatched A Nightmare on Elm Street, and the first time I watched it, I was like, this is kind of stupid and dumb, and then I watch it again, I'm like, but it's kind of supposed to be, and so I start loving it. I start getting on its level, and I'm like, okay, these are great,
Yes.
and they are great, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will tell you this much: if you're gonna if you ever give Friday 13th another shot, and you're just kind of recently converted into it, I would say the very first Friday the 13th up until maybe part 4 is where the story is really good. I wouldn't say it's great, but for a
Mm.
horror film, it's pretty decent and consistent from the first one to the fourth one. The fifth one, believe it or not, I love the fifth one. I don't want to spoil it for you. The fifth one will actually leave you a little surprised.
Yep.
And then from 6 on, that's where it gets a little more campier than your
Okay.
typical campy horror film.
Okay. I
Um,
can handle that.
from 6 and on forward. With Nightmare, the very first Nightmare is arguably everyone's favorite. But then you have some people that really love the third one. And
Hmm.
I love the third one, but I love the first one a little bit more. And the reason why people love the third and the fourth Nightmare movies is because they were made during the I want to say the momentum push of MTV in the 80s. It
Ah,
was
yes.
during the MTV era.
Gotcha.
So there's a lot of MTV influence in the third and fourth Nightmare films.
Okay.
Uh, the fifth one is bad. Freddy's Dead is really bad, but New Nightmare.
Yes.
If I had to make a suggestion to you, I would watch Nightmare One, Nightmare Three, and then New Nightmare.
You know, because Wes Craven came back for New Nightmare, right? So
Yes,
that's yeah, yeah.
yes,
I
pure
mean, what a master!
genius,
What a master!
pure
Between
genius.
yeah, yeah, like he's such a vibe to his movies. I mean, I actually have a Wes Craven box set that I think Imprint released, strangely enough.
I remember when they came out with that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's got some. There's just such vibes of film. The people under the stairs. I loved the people under the stairs because I love the fact that horror, when horror is done right, and this is when I love horror the most, is when it has these social commentaries underneath them, underlying,
Yes.
and it's such a tense ride. Even the most recent one I really love, probably my favorite horror in a long time, is Talk to Me, because it has such social
Yes.
commentary under it, right? Like it's amazing. That's when horror is done right, in my opinion.
Yes. I'll give you another favorite of Wes Craven's of mine that doesn't have to do with any of his bigger names. And I wouldn't even consider this a horror film. As a matter of fact, I don't think it's actually a horror film. One of my favorites was Red Eye.
Oh, I
Um,
love Red Eye. Red Eye's great. People hate it, but
Red
I don't.
Eye was amazing.
It is, right? It's
Um,
so tense. Cillian Murphy
yeah.
and Rachel
Yes.
McAdam, the tension, it's fantastic. Yeah, I agree. It does get a bit silly in that last act, but it's great. It is great.
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
big fan of Red Eye.
Yeah. Red Eye was amazing. I'm trying to think if there was one other one that he's done. No, I think Red Eye. Red Eye is the one that I really like a lot.
It's more of a
That
thriller
doesn't
than a
have to do
horror.
with. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
yeah, there is a difference.
And surprisingly enough, I've had People Under the Stairs on 4K for over a year,
Okay,
and I haven't watched that yet, that copy yet, but I've
okay.
seen it. I've seen it before, but
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
understand exactly where you're coming from when you said
Mm,
that it had that underlying with the themes that they were presenting in that.
absolutely. Yeah.
Talk to Me, Midsummer. I don't know if you've ever seen Midsummer.
I have,
Um,
but it was a while back. It's something I need to see again. Yes.
yeah, Midsummer is really good, and I'll recommend. This is one I'll recommend to you if you ever get a chance to watch it. This movie here.
Oh, yeah, I've seen
It's a
Odyssey.
Blu-ray.
I watched
Are
Odyssey.
you
Well,
seen
it would have been
Odyssey?
last year. Yeah, yeah. I probably wasn't paying
Yeah,
enough attention. I did like it, but I do need to pay more attention to it. That's something I probably need to pick up on Blu-ray one day. I'll see it on sale and grab it.
yeah. Odyssey was really good. And see, I get into some of the newer stuff, but not all of it. I
Mm,
don't really. I don't really like a lot of the romantic comedy elements they're throwing in a lot of horror movies these days. I could care less for
mm.
that.
Okay. Well, I was actually going to bring up. Well, there's a few I'd want to bring up because there's some. I like comedy horror. I'm a big fan of comedy horrors. But there was one that came out last year which I really, really liked. Surprised me, and it's got a bit of a romance behind it. It's called Your Monster with Melissa Barrera.
I think I've heard of that. I think
It's
I've heard. I've never seen it.
it's really good. It's really, really good. it's probably less of a horror than anything else. It's definitely got some horror elements, but it was just a really fun movie. And Melissa Barrera is a fantastic actress, actually. But are you into the comedy horror side of it? Do you?
A little bit of it. I will probably say the closest thing I've ever encountered with comedy horror will probably be the Chucky films. I know
Okay.
they have that like the serious tone to like the first and second one, but somewhere midway through that second Child's Play, it started becoming a little funny.
Even though I've got the Arrow box set, I've not seen past the first one yet. So this, because I have such a massive collection of horror that I just collect as I've gone along. There's so many I need to see. I've also got a lot of Asian horror, like I like my Japanese horror films as well. So
Oh my goodness, you mentioned a really good thing here.
Ju-on,
I've
the
got
Ringu.
this.
Yes, I have that. Yeah, I have that same one. Yeah. Ringo. They're
Yes,
so
Ringu.
creepy, man. No one does creepy better than Japanese and
They
Koreans for
don't.
that matter.
They
They're really
don't.
unnerving. They bring the hairs up on your arms and stuff. Western movies don't do the same to me as
No.
Asian cinema does. Like they just do it right. There's a lot of great ones. Dark Water is a really good one. Dark Water? Dark Water, yeah.
Yeah, Dark Water.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
It's really,
yes.
really
That's
good.
a good one.
Yeah. For comedy
My,
horror though, I wanted to get your opinion on whether, because I love Ready or Not. Ready or Not was just one of my it's
you
actually probably
remember that?
one of my favorite
Yes, I
movies
remember
ever.
Radio. Now that was a good one.
Yeah, yeah. Ready or Not's great. And last year the same directors did Abigail. And I really enjoyed Abigail as well. Not sure if you've seen
Abigail
Abigail.
was fantastic.
Yeah, it's so
It
much
was
fun.
fantastic.
It really was.
I love the twist at the end. I don't want to spoil it for people, but I
Mm,
love the twist at the end. The
yeah,
twist at the
yeah,
end was
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. It's just it's whoever Bettinelli Gilpin and I can't remember the other guy, but they also did the recent Scream reboots as well, and
Yes.
I did not like the recent Scream reboots, not nearly as much as other people. So, and I know I'm a big fan of the first Scream series, like the originals. They're probably the best horror movies ever. Actually, I think they're fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, they fit into what I like to call, and I know this is going to sound very cliche to what they call the Scream movies, but they're pretty much meta. They are meta kind
Yes.
of
Oh, yeah,
movies.
yeah. Absolutely. They kind of, it
Um,
was probably one of the first movies that ever introduced meta-ness, I think, to
yes,
any type of film, any type of genre, actually. I mean, you've
yes,
got Jamie Kennedy there pretty much narrating the entire film. And, and now that I've watched more horror, I get the references better than, even though I loved Scream when it first came out, now I watch it because I've seen Scream. I reckon I've seen Scream 20 times, and it's just
yeah.
never gets old. But now, even now, because I understand the references better, yeah, it's brilliant. It's such a clever film. It's not just scary, funny, and whatnot. It's actually very clever.
And you bring up a good point about your favorites in the Scream franchise. The ones you like the most are the ones that Wes Craven was a part
Yes,
of.
absolutely. Yeah.
Unfortunately, when he passed, other
Mm,
people picked up the franchise and just
mm.
kind of did their own thing with it. But yeah, all of those movies are great. The last two movies, I'll agree with you. They're not my favorites in the
No,
franchise. They're just
no.
not. They're just not at all.
There's too much
Um,
silliness in them. I think too much. There's a thing I like to call. What do I call it? I can't think of the phrase. It's just the bullshitter meter. Like I know horror films have a lot of bullshit. Like there's a lot of convenience and a lot of, you know, just stuff that is just completely beyond logic or physics. But these Scream
yeah,
movies just don't. It'd be more fun if they leant into that a bit more because they do it, but it's
yeah,
just not handled very well. Anyway, it's a shame because I
yeah,
don't know whether that's because these directors they did Ready or Not and they did Abigail, who two films I really really like or love. I
yeah.
think the studio influence on those most recent Scream films. That's why they're not as good. I mean, I've got friends who love those movies, and I don't understand why, but they do, so that's good. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's okay.
But yeah, it's one of the things that I would honestly say about the Scream franchise that I felt like they went wrong with that was basically making one of the girls be Billy Loomis's
Yes, daughter or something.
offspring.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, oh yeah, and that's why I hated six because they have Billy Loomis like the Obi-Wan Kenobi. They
yeah,
go to Dagobah. That's so
yeah,
fucking stupid. It's just dumb, and it really takes me out of the movie. I'm like, this is just it's mental, mental for lack
Yeah.
of a better word. Yeah,
And Wes Craven never introduced any supernatural elements with
no,
that franchise. So that had
mm,
no reason being in those movies.
yes, they're grounded in reality. That's why they were scary, because it's like these people are just kind of minding their business and they get slayed by Ghostface or two.
Yeah.
And it is a grounded in reality to a certain degree. Where yeah, these modern ones are. That's probably what I was trying to talk about the bullshit meter before. Like there's a lack of
I'm about to start using that bullshit meter.
yeah, it's just annoying. Like it just you can tolerate a certain bit, but if it hits that red line, it's like that's too much. It's just too much.
Um,
Yeah.
I have a question for you with the horror franchise. I wanted to get your quick opinion on it. How do you feel about found footage movies?
That's a really good question. That is a really good question because I'll start from here. I get motion sick really easily. If I game, I can't play video games like Call of Duty and those type of things because with the movement of I get really motion sick.
Yeah.
So my first experience with that was obviously Blair Witch in the cinema, and I had to walk out.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, I couldn't handle it. I was going to throw up. Even in the most recent Avatar 2 movie, when I was in the cinema at about because it's 3 hours movie, at about the 2 hour mark, I was starting to feel really nauseous just with the 3D and whatnot. So if I watch them again, I won't watch the 3D, but I was basically sitting there not watching the last hour because I was just feeling so nauseous. I thought I was going to throw up or pass out or
Yeah.
something. So with found footage, if it's stagnant, Cam, I like Chronicle because hang on, not Chronicle. Well, Chronicle is a different one. Cloverfield Lane, Cloverfield, not Cloverfield Lane, Cloverfield. Those I always mix those franchises up. 10 Cloverfield Lane is fantastic, actually, by the way. But Cloverfield, I liked, but it's hard for me to watch. Something like Paranormal Activity, I actually really enjoyed that. I've only seen the first one.
Yeah.
But otherwise, that's about my limit on those. I do own the Hill House collection, but I haven't watched any of those yet.
Those are really good. I will tell you this. It sounds like to me you can't deal with the handheld
The shaky,
camera footage.
the
Yeah, the
constant shaky
shaky
cam,
camera footage.
it's so, yeah, can't.
In Paranormal Activity, they basically have mounted cameras, so it's
Yes, that's
basically you're
right.
seeing stuff from
Yeah.
the different cameras.
Mm.
I'm trying to think of another one that's like that
Well, The
that I
Visit,
think you might
the
enjoy.
Shyamalan movie, The Visit, I can handle that. I really like The Visit.
That was good. I
Yeah,
actually enjoyed The Visit. I watched
yeah,
it for the first time when Kino put it out, when I got
yes.
the Kino release to it.
Okay.
That was
Yep.
really good.
Yeah, it is great. I'm a Shyamalan defender. I think you've just got to be on his level when you watch his movies. He's very strange and deliberately so. So, yeah. I mean, I like Old. I thought Old was really good. So things like
I
that.
like all here. Here's the thing. I love all of M. Night Shyamalan's movies except for one.
Avatar.
No, no, no. The only one I do not like is the last movie he come out with, which was Trap. I was
Oh,
not
didn't
a
you like
fan.
Trap? I really like Trap. I was a big
Yeah.
fan of that. Yeah, I thought that was bonkers. I mean, talk about bullshit meter. That
Yeah.
ramps up so hard at the end with just Hartnett just escaping everything. It's so, and I'm like, fuck, piss off. This is such trash, but it sets up nicely for follow-ups. And apparently it's actually part of the same universe as Unbreakable. And so it's part of,
Really?
yeah. It's the same universe. So he's basically a superhero. He's a supervillain. I was listening to a podcast where they talked about it, and I'm like, it makes so much sense now. It's the same universe as Unbreakable and Glass and that. Like he's a supervillain.
Okay, I'm gonna have to rewatch Trap now.
Yeah.
You made it more interesting to me
Yeah.
now that I
It,
know that information.
it did for me as well, because I was like, okay, it does make more sense when if it's in that same Shyamalan superhero verse, absolutely
Yes.
makes sense. Yeah. And if he only had made that more obvious, it would have been great. Like, so yeah, it would have been great. Anyway,
I'll I'll tell you my biggest gripe with it, and we can move on from it. My biggest gripe with Trap was how dumb he made every character in that movie. I
yeah.
sat there and I thought there for the longest. I said, it's painfully obvious. Why are people just playing really stupid right now when the average person would have figured out what's going on right now? And it was kind of like Josh Hartnett's character was getting by with so much shit in the movie, and I was sitting
Yeah.
there like, come on, guys, you can't be that stupid. You know, you have normal
Yes.
stupid, but then you have like just comedic stupidity. And it's
Yeah.
like just like
Yeah.
the security guard. The security guard, like, you know, he's like, yeah, yeah, here's a shirt for your little girl,
Mm.
and yeah, and then all of a sudden he sits there, he takes the key away, and I'm sitting there wondering, thinking to myself, surely enough, he's gonna report that his key is stolen, right?
Yeah.
No, he
Yeah.
does not report it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was things like that that was really like aggravating to me. I was like, you're so much better than this. You're so much better than this. But that's
I
the only
totally
one.
totally get it because they knew that concert was especially made to trap him. That's everyone there was aware of it, weren't they? Like
Yeah, yeah,
everyone, even the people behind the scenes. The only people that weren't aware were the people in the crowd. So, I mean, if the guy
yeah.
selling T-shirts knew, everyone knew. So they're looking for a white male around this age with a daughter. Like, put two and two together, you dickheads. Like, yeah, I totally get that point of view. Totally get that point of view.
Yeah.
Didn't stop me liking
I,
it, but yeah, I totally get it.
it was still enjoyable. I will say that much. Even though it's my least favorite movie in his catalog, I still
Mm,
enjoyed it
yeah.
all the way up into the climax of the film too. I did enjoy it for the most part. I loved it for the very tense situations that they created in that movie. If
Yeah,
that
yeah.
means anything, he's a really good director that creates great
Yeah.
tension in his movies.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
It's incredible.
I think he deserves a lot more credit than he gets shown, man, to be honest. I
Yeah,
mean, he's not for everyone. I get it, but yeah, I think in years to come he'll be seen as quite a master actually.
yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've digressed quite a bit from the physical media side of things. So it's not I'll get back to some of these questions. So what's the best transfer you think you won? What's something that you think is just
Oh
beautiful to see
man,
in sound or sight?
that is such a loaded question. It's a really great loaded question. Oh my gosh. What could be my favorite that I've seen so far? There's so many of them that come to mind. I can tell you one right off the bat because there was one that immediately popped into my head when you asked that question. That
Mhm.
would be Vinegar Syndrome's Roadhouse.
Interesting.
Roadhouse looked amazing. It's
Ah,
probably by far one of the best transfers I have ever seen.
that's
Another one would have to be, I'm trying to think of one that has both the picture and the sound, which Roadhouse sounded good, but it wasn't like blow me away sound. I would probably say picture and sound combined. That's tough. That is really tough. I would probably go on a whim and say the original Alien.
okay. Yeah,
That one looked outstanding. Again, another really great transfer. But my goodness, the Atmos in that
yeah,
transfer was amazing too.
that's
Uh,
great.
I'm a huge sound and picture guy.
Same.
Mainly,
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I'm a little bit more on the sound than I am picture.
Same. We said we have a
I
very similar all along. We're just very similar in our thoughts here. Yeah.
Yeah, I love to be immersed. I love to like when I watch my movies, I turn out all the lights in here
Yep.
and I have my speakers spread out and I completely immerse myself. The last one that I watched that kind of blew me away with sound. Which one was that? I'm looking over here now. Gosh. That would be Poltergeist 2 from Scream Factory.
Oh, really? That's another one.
That one has an Atmos track.
Huh.
Surprisingly enough, it has an Atmos track, and the Atmos track on it was outstanding,
That's really
very
interesting to know.
outstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of people would probably say things like Top Gun Maverick, which that one has got a really incredible Atmos track.
Yeah, of course.
Uh, but those that I just named, especially Alien,
Yep.
Alien was fantastic.
I don't own any of the aliens on 4K, which is a shame. I don't think I'll upgrade them. But yeah, that would be interesting to see though.
Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't go for the obvious, more modern movie picks of that too. That's good. I like that because
Yeah.
I'm the same with you, same as you with the sound or the sight and sound. So I mean that kind of leads to the next question. What type of setup do you have? What's your home media like?
So that's a good question. So I have, when I went through and started building what I have now piece by piece, I originally started off with a 55-inch television. I have a 65-inch now. But
Mm-hmm.
for my sound, I did my research. And this is for everyone that's listening because this is very important. When you decide to invest in your sound, do your homework.
Absolutely.
One of the most important things I learned from a past sound bar before going after this one I'm going to tell you about was that when I got my first sound bar, I was just looking for something with Atmos. That's all I cared about. I
Yep.
learned really quickly that you don't just want to have Atmos because if you
Mm-hmm.
have something that just only does Atmos, for anything that's DTS oriented, it automatically defaults to normal PCM. And
Mm-hmm.
normal PCM is not great. At least to me, it is not.
Right.
So I bought what's called the JBL Bar 1000. And with this setup, it's a 7.1.4 setup. And because of my room here, I don't really have a lot of electrical outlets.
Yep.
So I'll show you here, just for example. I'm gonna let you see what my bar actually does. So here,
Is that the newer model? Yes. Do you know? Do you want to know
yeah,
something funny? I have
yeah.
the exact same speaker, but the model before that. I have the JBL 9.1.
Oh, okay. You got the original. You've
Yeah,
got the
yeah,
original.
and it's amazing. You're
Yeah.
right. It is because I have the two speakers on the side. I actually have them attached to stands I got off Amazon. They just sit next to me permanently with permanently charging. Amazing, amazing. Yeah, I
And I
was
don't know
thinking
if
he's
you
going to
can.
say the JBL here, but yeah.
I don't know if you can see right above Chucky
Oh yeah,
here.
you can see
You,
your stand.
you
Yeah,
see my little stand
I
there.
can.
So
Yeah,
I've got a
yeah.
stand there, and I've got one in the other corner. So
Mm-hmm.
when I get ready to watch my movies, I take them apart from the bar. I
Yep.
spread them out and go about it that way. And I've been telling people for years, at least since I've had this bar, this is one of the best sound bars
It's
I've ever
amazing.
owned.
They are
Yeah.
amazing, aren't they? Yeah. I'm assuming yours is better than mine because it's a newer model, but look, stunning. Stunning. It's the bass from them. The only
Oh
issue I
yes.
have a little bit is sometimes the vocals aren't as strong. That's about the only down point from mine. I'm not sure what the new model is like. I would say that's improved, but
They fixed it. They
yeah.
fixed it. I almost bought the one you bought, but the guy at the store was explaining to me when I bought mine at the time because they had the one you have. They had it on clearance at the time,
Yes, yeah.
and I said, "Well, the price is really great," but I said, "What makes the 1000 better?" Well, he said they fixed the battery issues. They fixed
Mm-hmm.
what the connection issues were, and most importantly, they got better with the overall speech, the
Yeah,
speech channel.
yeah.
So I said, you know what, I'm gonna go with the 1000. That's what I decided to go with. But it's the best setup I ever got, and the reason why it was like it's not because of the detachable speakers, but
Mm.
I was really looking forward to something that played all the Dolby formats as well as
Mm-hmm.
all the DTS
DTSX,
formats.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
My opinion, I'm a big Dolby fan of, but I think DTSX sounds better than Atmos. When
Yes,
you're the
it
same,
does.
yeah, it really does,
Yes,
right?
it does.
Yeah. When
Yes.
if I look at a disc and it's got DTSX, Atmos, I'm like excellent, but if I see DTSX, I'm like you beauty, like it's yeah, magical.
I'll give you a suggestion if you have it in your collection. One of the ones I normally kind of use as a reference disc for sound when it
Mm.
comes to just showing off for family and friends.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, is The Incredible Hulk.
Oh, okay.
The
Interesting.
Incredible Hulk has one of the hardest hitting and most immersive DTSX tracks I've ever heard.
I own that. I wonder if it's on the Blu-ray because I need the Blu-ray of that. If it's on the Blu-ray. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I always put on June or something if I'm, you know,
Dune is
reference.
another good one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's another good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maverick, like you said, Top Gun Maverick is pretty impressive with the Atmos. But yeah, I always like to put on something. The Matrix is really impressive, actually, because when you hear the rain, the Matrix is fantastic with its Atmos.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now that you mention it, I don't know if you have this one, but this bad boy.
I do have that one. I haven't played it yet. I have to get
it has Atmos.
So
It
Demolition
has Atmos.
Man. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Arrow
Yeah.
Demolition Man we're talking about. Sorry, listeners.
Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, it's the Arrow Demolition Man.
Yeah. I'm keen to see that. Yeah. I've got so many in my watch list. It's just absurd. It becomes anxiety inducing, actually, of these films I need to rewatch, let alone the films I need to watch for the first time. I need 48-hour days, honestly, to get through what I want to do.
Same.
Do you blind buy, just on that topic? Do you have movies that you buy that you've never seen before?
Yes, I do that a lot.
Yeah, good. Yeah, no, me too.
And I'll explain my reasoning for it. I've been very guilty of it, especially with my Arrow collection and definitely with Vinegar Syndrome. Probably more so with Vinegar Syndrome than any other thing I collect right now.
That makes sense, because Vinegar Syndrome released stuff that no one's heard of. I don't even know if Vinegar Syndrome I've heard of.
Yeah, but I will tell you something. I've been on a good streak when it comes to my blind buys with Vinegar Syndrome. I will watch the trailer to something first, or I will actually get something based on word of mouth.
Yep.
But I normally have a good feeling when I watch a trailer that if I'm gonna like it or not.
Okay.
And every single Vinegar Syndrome movie I've watched that I own, that I've watched so far in my collection, I've enjoyed it. I've completely enjoyed them.
That's great.
But
that's really good.
But yeah, that's where I've got the biggest amount of blind buys from is from Vinegar Syndrome.
Did you get their Congo, the version of Congo?
I did. So
have you seen Congo before?
Yeah, I seen it when I was younger, back in the 90s. But I'll show you something, since I know you love to see the collections from a lot of people.
Yeah.
But if you look here,
good. Oh yeah.
Are you familiar with Vinegar Syndrome's VSUs?
I am. My good friend Shane, who co-hosts my other show with me, he's a big VS fan. He's a big fanboy, and he has pretty much, well, a massive collection of theirs as well. Yeah. He has everything that you've shown me. I think he probably would have all of that.
Yeah, so from Beastmaster all the way up towards Congo, that's all the way up to 10. And I think with their latest release, which I've got it pre-ordered too, which is Virtuosity, that's number 11. Right. But yeah, so I've got all of them too. And it's not, and here's the funny thing. This wasn't one of the cases of where I said, okay, I'm going to set out to buy and collect every VSU there is. I ended up getting all of them as a result of an accident.
Oh, really?
It was an accident. I ended up finding Roadhouse and what was the other one? Showgirls.
Oh, yeah.
I got Roadhouse and Showgirls through eBay at a really good price point.
Wow.
And I said, okay, well, I've got these.
Pokemon now, aren't they? You got to get them all.
Yeah. And so I said, okay, I'm already buying. At the time when I did this, I said, okay, I'm already buying Southern Comfort and Navy SEALs. So when I started seeing the other VSUs actually being sold used at a lower price point, I said, it's a no-brainer at this point. I might as well buy them.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things where it was purely an accident from collecting all the VSUs. It was never on purpose. It was an accident.
Just fell into it. No, I get it. It's the collector mindset too. Once you get a couple, it's like, oh, no, you get the rest, even if you're not a fan of them. There was a set that Umbrella released. They're called Beyond Genres, and they're all in these black slip cases and stuff. And I kind of fell into those. I picked up one or two, and then I'm like, I need to get the rest. And I can't find. There's so many I can't find, but some of them don't have slips now, and that annoys me because it just doesn't sit right on the shelf. It doesn't look the same. So
okay, so that brings. I don't know if that was going to be a question you was going to ask me next, but that's a question I have for you. So, are you on the fence of one of the collectors that you have to have the slip cover?
No, that is absolutely a question for you later down the track. Well, now it will be. No, I don't care. If I have I used to be, I was honestly thinking about this last night because someone posted something on a Facebook group I'm part of, just an image of all these slipcases and said, do you reckon people are going to buy these? Because I hate slipcases. I take them off. And I didn't engage with it, but someone was like, absolutely, people will buy these secondhand off you easily.
Yeah.
And I used to just take mine off and store them in a cupboard. And then when my collection got too big, I kind of had to pull them out of the cupboard to put more movies in there and just put them on the movies and back on the shelf. So if it comes with a slip, cool, bonus. But if it doesn't, I don't worry about it. A good example of that, Umbrella have released Lars and the Real Girl. It's comes out next week actually, and a website that I buy often from has the Blu-ray and the Blu-ray limited slipcase exactly the same price. So yeah, I'm going to get the slip.
Really?
I'm going to get the slip.
Nice.
But on the in-store, it's actually $3 or $4 more for the slip cover. So I just got it online with the same. So if it's the same price, yeah, I'll pick up the slip. I would probably go towards the slip most of the time if it's like $2 or $3 difference, but I don't care. Like, I don't fuss about slip covers or not. Most of the time with my collection, I just kind of want the movie. If it comes, yeah, I mean, Demolition Man. I didn't own Demolition Man on a physical at all. So I want that. I didn't care that it came in. It's awesome. It's a good bonus that it come in that set that it came in. I'm like, okay, it was excellent. The same with Wild Things. A few of those Arrow releases. I just kind of want the movie in my collection. If that's the only way I can get it and it's a reasonable price, I'll grab it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on the packaging? Apart from the box set stuff, like I said, we both love box sets, but for a standard movie, do you care about that side of it? Like steelbooks, for example?
It used to bother me in the very beginning when I didn't get a slipcover. I'll be the first to admit that. It used to bother me a lot.
Right.
But as my collection has gotten as big as it has, I haven't cared nearly as much.
Yeah.
Prime example of that is, like, for example, the Kino
Kinos.
Lorber.
Yep.
Like, I'm in it for the movies, and I know that's one of those things. If you wait for them to have, like, for example, their Winter Wonderland sale, and it's a movie that's been out for a few months already, you already know you're not going to get a slip cover for it. So it doesn't bother me nearly as much now with Vinegar Syndrome because I love their slip covers. They're very unique, and I always call Vinegar Syndrome the FOMO boutique. They're like the biggest FOMO boutique there is out there because they make really nice slip covers.
Yeah.
Now, if it's with Vinegar Syndrome, I may feel a little salty about it if I don't get a slip cover.
Fair.
But other than that, no, I really don't care. When it comes to major studio releases, I don't care. And to answer your second question, again, I don't know if you can see it. I'll show you here. But this is my steelbook section.
Ah, yes. Cool.
So steelbooks, again, is kind of similar to the story I told you about with the VSUs. I've never been a steelbook collector at all.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I kind of despise them just a little bit, but not a whole lot. That happened as a result of an accident because, and I got a really good point about it. Here in the States, when it comes to Sony releases, most of Sony's releases, they only release a steelbook. They don't have a normal case release for it. What was the movie you had told me earlier that you had from Sony that you got from there?
God. Oh, no idea. Sorry.
Oh, I remember. Oh, I see it now. Like, for example,
Stand By Me.
Yeah.
So was never an option here. Yeah. It's so strange in Australia. There's such different marketing from country to country because we, like you said, Stand By Me's been out for a long time on 4K, but we just got it released Wednesday, just gone 4 days ago. So 15th of January. So for people listening, we're recording this 19th of January.
Yeah, I'm curious with your version of Stand By Me that you got. I wonder if the one you have, because I forgot to mention this too. With that one in particular, that's a newer release of Stand By Me, but we've had a normal case release of Stand By Me for a few years.
Yeah.
The reason I went after the steelbook, and it's a little small reason, the Steelbook version has the Dolby Vision HDR cut on it.
Right.
The regular
Interesting.
edition of that 4K was just regular HDR10.
Interesting. I'd have to
Yeah,
I'd have to look at mine to see if it has the Dolby Vision or not. Actually, a Dolby Atmos Vision, you said, or Atmos? Sorry.
Dolby Vision, Dolby Vision.
Yeah, I'd have to look. I'm not sure because I haven't looked at it that close because I also own it digitally on iTunes because I'll buy movies off iTunes if they're $5 and I can't buy the physical. And if they come in
Yeah.
physical, like it doesn't hurt to upgrade them to a physical copy if you've only spent $5 on a, so it's not a big deal. I own a lot of old Hollywood classics that way, actually. Galaxy Quest was another example of that. I didn't have that on physical, but we just got that as well. Quick and the Dead, all three of those we didn't have on physical. So I noticed, back to the Steelbook side of it, in Australia, we had recently had the Terminator come out on 4K late last year. Steelbook,
Yes.
sold out within 3 weeks. You
Oh
cannot,
my goodness.
you cannot buy it in the country anymore. And there's no standard edition. It's just the Steelbook and that's it. We had Seven doesn't get released here until March. But most of us who love that film, I've ordered the Steelbook and it's only in Steelbook. You cannot get Seven in a regular MRA case. It's going to be
Really?
Steelbook only. And I've, did a service and posted in one of the forums. It's like, if you want this, get it, order it now because it'll run out like the Terminator did. Yeah, can't buy it. Like, you just cannot get it. And Godzilla -1 was pretty similar. So, although we have versions of that are just the normal plastic case. One thing I noticed that you guys have in the US, though, is that you'll get a standard edition, and it could be 6-12 months later that you'll get a Steelbook edition as well. So they're double, triple dipping. That doesn't happen here. We'll get the Steelbook, or we'll get nothing, or we'll get the Steelbook and the standard at the same time. It's really unusual. We had Taxi Driver Steelbook only. You can't get that on any other version. So,
we have Steelbook. We have Taxi Driver Steelbook only, but I will tell you this much: the story with Taxi Driver is really interesting. So here in the States, Sony releases these classic volume sets. They're I don't want to say they're limited, but they're very expensive. Taxi Driver was in the volume 1 set of that when it came out. And for the longest time, that was the only way you could get Taxi Driver. No one wanted to sell it separately from that collection. And if they did sell it separately from the collection, they charged an arm and a leg for it.
Yeah.
So when they did finally release it by itself, it only came in Steelbook form. I'm trying to see if where is it at on my
So
shelf?
you talked about, is that a Sony or a Warner Brothers release? Because
I've never seen
a Sony box set. I've never known of a Sony box set. I know there's Warner and the Columbia. I've never seen. It was Columbia. You're talking about Columbia.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
Columbia.
the Columbia
Okay.
sets.
That
Yeah,
makes
Columbia.
sense. Okay.
That's Sony.
Cool. Yeah. I've never picked any of those up because they normally come separately. The Warner Brothers ones, especially, like all their different box sets that are released. I own, I think, all of those, but individually, not any of those box sets because the box sets were too expensive at the time, and just bought the singles gradually over time. Yeah, interesting. I would prefer the box sets though than the singles, but anyway.
Yeah, and and speaking of those box sets, the one that I regret not getting recently, that the Columbia Pictures set that came out, it was the one that had Starman in it. I really wanted that one so badly for that one movie.
For Starman. Starman's good, isn't it? Starman's very good. Yeah.
That's a classic.
Yeah. It really is. John Carpenter, man. I love John Carpenter.
Yes. The legend.
Where are we up to on these questions? So are you a special features fan? Do you watch special features, or you just kind of watch the movie? Do you care if you get them? Or?
I really don't care for them.
Okay.
At the end of the day, I'm one of those guys who I care more about the picture and sound and restoration more than anything else. Now, not to say that when I go through and I review a release, it definitely becomes part of my grading scale, but I don't make it a huge priority. I may, like, say, for example, I'm trying to think of a release that didn't have many. Yeah, take this one here, for example. When was it? Was it this one? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, take this one for Snake Eyes. Take Snake Eyes for an example.
Yep.
All they have on Snake Eyes is just
Audio
commentary and a
commentary.
trailer.
Yeah.
For me, if I'm reviewing it and knowing that it doesn't have a lot of special features, I may dock it like maybe 0.5
Mm-hmm.
points. It wouldn't really be a huge thing for me, but I can see a lot of people have a huge pet peeve for something like that.
Mm.
Now, if it's a movie that I'm very much attached to, like something that I grew up watching, and it doesn't have special features, I may actually dislike it a little bit more because I'm a fan. But no, but overall, my general rule of thumb, if it doesn't have a lot of special features, it doesn't make me feel any different.
So do you watch special features at all? Do you,
From
if,
time to time, I do.
yeah. Yep.
My favorite thing about special features, especially if it has it, I love documentaries. I love
Mm-hmm.
documentaries that's part of special features. Like something I don't
Like
like the if
the
it's like
making
maybe
of.
10, maybe 15 minutes, I don't watch it. But
Okay.
if it's something that's close to maybe 30 minutes towards an hour, I will watch that special feature because
Okay.
very much
Interesting.
I'm very much into it at that point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, I just don't like the small stuff.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. It's always interesting to me whether people watch special features or not because people seem to like having them, but they don't really watch them. And I'm a bit in that park as well. It's just like it's a good to have and not need, and not need to the not have and need.
Exactly.
It's yeah. I mean, we are talking about People Under the Stairs before. That was probably the last time I watched any special features when I watched People Under the Stairs because there's some really great behind the scenes how it was made, just how,
Mm,
and it's excellent. It's really excellent to watch. I hope your version has it because I would recommend checking that out. It was just it's just fun. Just how they film a horror film and with the practical effects of it. Like I'm a big fan of practical effects. So
oh wow, this thing is loaded. I didn't
yeah,
know it
okay,
had that many special features on it. It's
yeah,
loaded.
that's great. Cool.
Hmm.
Yeah,
You may give me something to watch tomorrow.
yeah, yeah,
back
for
to the
sure.
special features just for a quick second.
Yeah,
Now, if
sure.
there was one I was deeply disappointed in that didn't have it, and this goes back to a movie that I'm attached to,
Mm-hmm.
and that was
Terminator.
this.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So I'm going to have to order that online. I'm going to have to import that standard edition. Just can't get it here.
Yeah, there's nothing new on here. It's a bunch of old stuff I've already seen before. They really didn't add anything new to it, but I don't know how you feel about James Cameron's infamous restorations.
Well, the only I mean I do own The Abyss and True Lies. I haven't even watched them yet though, but I have seen my Titanic and Titanic is immaculate. Titanic is spectacular.
If you love Titanic, you will love The Abyss. You will
Yeah.
see what people hated about True Lies.
Yeah.
But The Terminator, that's probably the best James Cameron restoration that I've seen
Wow.
so far. By
That's good.
far.
That's
By far.
impressive, especially over the what was it called? Titanic, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is
Titanic
impressive.
was good, but Terminator was fantastic.
Mm.
Even for the average person that just dislikes it because it's a James Cameron film and they know James Cameron is a revisionist. Even that's going to be hard for them to sit there and say, "Oh, I hate this. It's got too much AI." And from my
Yeah,
eyes, from
well,
watching it, there wasn't a lot of AI in it at all.
I watched a good clip last night because the new Seven has AI in there. Has fixed up some stuff. But on YouTube, I saw there's a channel called 4K Freaks. It's just two guys talking about, and they explain what
Yeah,
AI.
I
Yeah,
love I love those guys.
yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty straight down the line. They don't mess about. But yeah, they were explaining what and showing the parts what AI fixed, and that's where AI has been really beneficial. It hasn't changed the image; it's actually added in parts or removed parts that Fincher didn't want bloopers basically that you see in the first one. It's really fascinating to watch. So I'm keen to another one I was talking about. I need to watch real soon because Seven is one of my all-time favorite movies. I need to check that transfer out big time.
Seven, what Fincher did to his cut of Seven, probably one of the best things you can do with AI. When we're done with this, I highly suggest if you go on my page, I did a review
Okay.
of the Seven
Yep.
disc.
Yep.
And on my reviews, I don't have like screen grabs per se,
Yeah.
but I shoot my pictures professionally from what I'm watching it from my viewing experience.
Hmm.
7 looked incredible. Oh
Yeah,
my goodness,
yeah.
it looks so good.
I've mentioned it
Um,
on I've mentioned it on this show before that Fincher has because I'm a big Fincher fan, and I've read a lot of interviews with him or people who've worked with him, and they say how he has like this he has like this disease where he fusses over something in an image more than anyone they've ever known. That's why he does a lot of takes. That's why he does a lot of everything in that. Yeah, his eye for detail is. I think it was Steven Soderbergh actually saying, "I don't know how he survives because if I had the same mental state as Fincher and his eye for detail, I don't think I could ever sleep at night because he just fusses over every pixel on the screen." And so I knew 7 was going to be a good transfer. And we're getting Zodiac, I think, at some point. If it hasn't, has Zodiac already come out? Fight Club is coming.
Zodiac, yeah, Zodiac, and I watched it the other night. You see here.
As much as I really love Zodiac and I know and think it's a brilliant movie, I don't think that's worth an upgrade from a Blu-ray to me. It's just not that type of movie that needs that crispness in my life.
I will say this much about this 4K is actually, believe it or not, it's a little controversial, mainly because Zodiac was not. I
That
don't think
release?
Zodiac was shot on film. I don't think Zodiac was
Yeah,
shot on film.
yeah.
So when this was actually done,
It's a
they
2K.
say it's,
Same as Kill Bill. The
um,
Kill Bills, those recent Lionsgate releases of the Kill Bills 1 and 2, they're just upscaled. They're not
yeah.
legit. Where Jackie Brown is, Jackie Brown was on film, so I'm keen
Hmm.
on Jackie Brown, but the Kill Bills are no, I'm fine without them.
This one, it looked really soft. It looked
Yeah.
very, very soft to me.
Okay.
I would say unless you're an HDR nut,
Yeah.
um, if you're really hard on HDR, like you really want HDR, I would say get the 4K. But if you can live without the HDR, I would just stick with the Blu-ray.
Yeah. If we got an
Um,
Australian release of Zodiac, I'd grab it, but it hasn't been released here yet. I'm sure it will this year, but I'm not in a hurry for that.
yeah. Now back to your point about Kill Bill.
Yes.
My steals, now I did get the steel books to all 3 of those
Yeah.
Tarantino movies, mainly because I'm a huge Tarantino fan.
So, oh, here's a question for you later, but yep, go ahead.
Yeah, and one of the things I read on the forums about the Kill Bill 4Ks was this. I have the Blu-rays of Kill Bill Volume 1 and Volume 2. My biggest issue with those 2 releases, while they look good, a lot of the whites or the brightness on it, they were over brightened to the
Okay.
point to where it was clipping. And I
Oh,
really,
wow.
really despise clipping. So even though it's being upscaled from a 2K master, the HDR on there actually gave the movie more vivid colors,
Yeah.
and it actually fixed those highlights so they're not overblown anymore.
Right.
I was watching pretty much like a comparison between the Blu-ray and the 4K from a
Mm-hmm.
number of YouTube videos. That was the one thing that stood out to me, and I said, you know what? This is worth picking up for me because that's one of the things
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand by watching the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray was just it was overblown with the brightness on
Okay.
some of those things. Like for example, I'll give you a huge example. Just like the first fight scene between Uma Thurman and Vivica A. Fox
Mm-hmm.
in Vivica A. Fox's house, on the Blu-ray, the windows to where you see where the bus is pulling up or whatnot,
Yeah.
they're over brightened in the Blu-ray. On
Okay.
the 4K, you can see everything clearly through the window as
Right.
everything's passing through. So I said, you know, it may be minor, but I'm such a huge fan of those films. I'm gonna buy those 4Ks for that because that would be the
Okay.
way for me to watch it.
Yep. Fair. Okay. So I have a hot take about Quentin Tarantino. I'm a massive Tarantino fan. He'd be in my top 5 of all time directors.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question, and whatever your answer is not going to be wrong, because I think whatever your Quentin Tarantino favorite Tarantino film is, you're not wrong, because all of his films are good enough or great enough for anyone to say, yeah, that one's my favorite. So, what's
Okay.
your favorite Tarantino?
This is easy. I don't even have to think about it. This is very easy for me,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna shock you because a lot of people that I've told what my favorite Tarantino movie is, it shocked me. Like, oh, really?
Okay.
My
Let's hear
favorite Tarantino film is Jackie Brown.
Ha! Do you want to know what? It's also my favorite Tarantino.
Really?
Is that this whole conversation? It shouldn't be a surprise, to be honest, because we've been so similar and everything. Yeah, man, I love Jackie. Jackie Brown is just a magical movie. I love it so much. It's just the vibe, tone.
Brilliant.
Honestly, Elmore Leonard is the big helper in that, because I mean it's the only film Tarantino's done that he hasn't written from an original aspect. But I mean,
Yes.
even Elmore Leonard, another of his adaptations called Get Shorty, very similar tone and vibe.
Yes.
And
Yes.
talking about films that need a 4K, Get Shorty needs a 4K, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I knew you were going to say, I was going to actually say Jackie Brown with you at the same time as you said it, because I knew that's what it was going to be. Yeah, because a lot of people are surprised when I say it too. But Jackie Brown is amazing. Yeah.
And I'll explain why Jackie Brown's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And that's mainly because Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, I'm trying to think what else. We've already went with Jackie Brown. Both Kill Bill movies, The Hateful Eight and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. Oh, and then the Glorious Bastards wasn't done that same. No, yeah, it was. It was done the same way. All of those movies have the classic Tarantino formula where they're chapter based throughout the film.
Yeah.
And you have some events that take place like out of order, the way it's put into the film, which a lot of people put that as kind of like, that's Tarantino. So that I got to pick a Tarantino movie, like, no, you're wrong. Jackie Brown is very much a Tarantino film because he directed, he may not have wrote the story behind it because he was inspired by Rum Punch, but it does still have a lot of Tarantino influence in it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. His style is all over it.
Exactly. And that's what I loved about Jackie Brown. It was clever. It was very smart. The pieces that they set in place for the movie was just incredible. Yeah. He's never done anything quite like that since.
No, he hasn't.
That's my favorite Tarantino film, and it's not even close.
It's not really?
Even close.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's not even close.
I mean, it's definitely my favorite, but it's very close with Pulp Fiction. I think Pulp Fiction is a masterpiece. Jackie Brown is just my favorite. That's all. Yeah, a great choice. Again, like I said, no matter what you answered, we weren't going to be wrong. I mean, I've got friends who have Hateful Eight as their favorite, and I'm like, yep, correct. Django. Wow. Yeah, I love Hateful Eight. I think Hateful Eight is spectacular.
Oh, I love it as well, too. I love Hateful Eight, and I love Django Unchained.
Yeah.
I love Django Unchained. I love both Kill Bill movies. I would probably say my second favorite in Tarantino's filmography is Kill Bill Volume 1, followed by Pulp Fiction. I love Pulp Fiction. I think Pulp Fiction is his magnum opus. I love Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
And like you said before, that's his masterpiece, but my first two favorites are easily Jackie Brown and Kill Bill Volume 1. With Pulp Fiction coming third.
Yeah, I mean, I've got my top 10, my list of his films here right in front of me, because on my letterbox made me bring them up. But I think he has two masterpieces. I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is a masterpiece as well.
Yes.
From a cinematic perspective and a storytelling perspective, it's just mind-blowing. Every time I watch that, it just creeps up my list higher and higher. But yeah, he's Kill Bill. I mean, Django is my second last favorite of his. I mean, I really, really like Django. I think it's amazing. But that's how this is what I mean about Tarantino. Like, all of his films are great. They're all great. And to say Death Proof is a clear 10th, but I love Death Proof. I think it's fantastic. I think it's a great film, especially when you know that it's a grindhouse and what the genre it's trying to hit. It's brilliant.
Fun fact about Death Proof, I watched it last night.
Did you really? Awesome.
I did.
Yeah, that's great. Had you seen it before?
Yeah, I've seen it plenty of times. I've actually got Viavision's Grindhouse set because that set is the only way you can get Grindhouse as its full theatrical release. Like you have both movies with the trailers in between. That's the only way you could get that movie that way. And I sat through all 3 hours and watched both films with the trailers in between.
You can't even get that anymore. So if you can get that, that's something I should own.
The one that I have is the limited that has the lenticular cover on it. Here, I'll show you.
Yeah, that one's out of stock now, but there's a standard one I could get. Yeah, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do have another version that they did stock after this came out, which it doesn't
Yeah.
have the lenticular, but you still get the 4 discs. So,
Yes. Tenet.
but I watched Death Proof last night, and I was reminded just how incredible Kurt Russell is as a villain.
Oh, he's awesome, man. Kurt Russell is awesome. I mean, just in general, he's awesome. But yeah, in that film, yeah, he's yeah. The one, do you know the strange thing that bothers? No, nothing really bothers me about it. Nothing really bothers me about it. I'll shut up. It's great.
No, go right ahead. I think I know where you were going with it. Can I take a guess?
Sure.
You're going to mention Kurt Russell's character in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, weren't you?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
No.
I was wondering.
I don't like Zoe Bell as an actress, so it does leak into Once Upon a Time because I think she's the only only thing in that Once Upon a Time that really annoyed me is that when she comes out screaming because she plays Kurt Russell's wife.
Yeah.
Keep it a stunt. She's a brilliant stunt woman, and keep it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think people hate Tarantino, but I could almost be a Tarantino historian, honestly, because I watch, follow, and understand everything he does. I love the guy. I think he's a really good guy. And have you seen QT8? There's a documentary about Tarantino.
No, I have not. I didn't know there was a documentary out.
Yeah, it's called QT8. I would highly recommend checking that out because it's basically a talking head testimonial from everyone that's been in his films and just talking about what kind of a guy he is, what kind of director. He's very progressive. He loves seeing women kick ass. I mean, look at all the parts about, he's written for women. Jackie Brown. You got the Kill Bills. It's just endless. Grindhouse. It's all about women. It's all about women's empowerment, women power and all that. And I am for that. Of course I'm for that. But I love the way Tarantino does it. Like all these 80s actions, 90s action films about men kicking ass, but he changed it up, man. And women kick ass, and it's great to see the way he handles it. I love it. I mean, I could rant about Tarantino for a very long time.
Me too. He's. I know you. I know that's going to be a question you're going to ask me later, so I'll save that thing there for later. But what I really love about Tarantino is that most people don't know it. He's a film historian.
Absolutely. Yeah,
He knows a lot about films. He's read books about filmography, about being a director, and he takes bold strides with the way he does film his content.
Yeah.
The fact that he filmed Kill Bill on a Super 35. The other fact that he used a camera filming The Hateful Eight that hasn't been used in decades prior to that.
Was it a VistaVision in that?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Same as The Brutalist, Brady Corbet. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he does this homework, and plus he takes inspirations from a lot of things he watched growing up and kind of molded and turned it into his own thing with his films. And I love that about him. That guy, he's a film guy through and through. That's what I love the most about Tarantino.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not sure if you ever listened to. He has a podcast, Video Archives, with him and Roger Avery. Do you know about that?
I never knew about that until literally like a month ago.
Okay.
When I saw someone talking, I was like, he had a podcast? I didn't know this.
Yeah. They ruined season 2. Like season 1 was all, they sit down, they watch films, 3 films, and they talk about them. Then they give their awards afterward about the 3 films they watched: best actress, actor, director, blah blah blah. But just him and Rogers too, like because they work together at the video store. They're to and fro, like they agree sometimes, they disagree, and then Roger's daughter comes in and gives her opinion, and she's really great. Gala has her own show now, and I really like listening to her show as well. She interviews Hollywood people about different things. But yeah, just talking about really eclectic movies, I opened my eyes up to a lot of movies I'd never heard of. But with season 2, they only really talk about the first film they've watched. The rest is behind a Patreon paywall. So I'm like, that pisses me off.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I don't bother. I actually don't really listen to it at all anymore because I want to listen to it all or none of it, honestly. So yeah, that really bothered me.
Yeah.
Just play some ads. I can skip through the ads. That doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Anyway.
they'll still get their money. They'll still get their money if they did the
Yeah,
ads.
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I agree. But anyway, it is what it is. But it's still worth listening to Tarantino talk. You gotta listen to him talk about movies constantly, like all the time. Like, oh, yeah, what's
Mhm.
the silliest things about him? Anyway, back onto the show. We've kind of discussed it a little bit. So, but how do you organize your collection? Is everything just out separated by label, or do you just have your generic Blu-rays in alphabetical order, for example?
That's a good question too. So, as I've pointed out, so when it comes to normal studio releases, so
Mm.
my collection is broken down by, like, I have this shelf that where I've got my phone propped at right now. This shelf is actually the, how can I put it? Trying to figure out a better word to use for this. This is my section where I keep the franchises. I keep franchises on
Ah,
this
gotcha.
shelf.
Ah, gotcha.
So,
Gotcha.
for example, like I've got all my Fast and Furious here. I've got all of my Back to the Future. I've got all the Batman, the Superman movies, Jurassic Park, you name it. This is where this shelf, this is what's on this shelf. And then I also have my Arrow shelf. I have my Steelbook shelf. And then I have kind of like my Scream Factory and Paramount is all in one shelf, along with some other not so big boutiques that I have. But then I have my Vinegar Syndrome shelf. I have a Marvel shelf. I have a Criterion shelf, and I have a Warner shelf. So if I have like a studio, like regular studio releases that I have a lot from, like I'll give them their own section because I have a lot of Warner Brother. I will say Warner Brother is my most that I have out of studio stuff, followed by Paramount and then Universal. But yeah, that's how I organize. That's
Okay,
how I organize.
so you don't just have standard. It's literally everything by studio release, by label or studio. That's really
Mhm.
cool. I actually like that. You're the only one that's answered that way. You're the only one that's had that answer. So I'm trying to learn to
Yeah,
talk again. Yeah, interesting.
the reason for it being is because I did try the alphabetical system,
Hmm.
but as my collection was growing, it got so painfully annoying to go through and reorganize where everything was with A's or the numbers or the B's, the C's, the D's. And I just got to thinking, you know what? Let me just simplify this so it makes it a lot easier for me. So if I
So
just
you
put go right ahead.
no, sorry. So how big is your collection? Do you know how many you have? Do you catalog them?
Yes, I do. And I've
Okay.
got a strong recommendation how you could do it.
Okay.
I just I just logged in my newest releases I got in today, and right now I am sitting at a very healthy 1169 in total.
Okay. So the reason I asked is if there's something you think of, oh, I want to watch that, that means you kind of have to remember what studio brought it out and where to find it. So are you okay at remembering that, or is that how you catalog
Yeah.
everything?
And so funny thing about that you say that, my coworker that I work with, he's gotten into physical media like a little bit after because I talk about it all the time at work.
Yeah.
So he's
Okay.
gotten into it too. And he sits there and he tells me, like, gosh, man, how the hell do you remember what you bought? He said, I've made the
Mm,
mistake of
mm,
buying the same movie like three
mm.
times in a row. And I said, I've got a good memory, man. I'm sorry. I've got a really good memory. So this app that I use is called, and I pay monthly for it. It's like two
Yeah.
bucks a month.
Yeah.
I use an
CLZ.
app called C Movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if it's something I've never seen in my collection, and I just want to just have a have a world at just picking a title, the app has this really cool feature that when you pull up your collection, you just shake your phone and it
Mhm.
it pulls up a movie for you. Like boom, go watch this movie.
Oh, really?
So yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
pretty awesome.
That's
That
really
app
good.
also breaks down your collection by directors. It breaks it
Yeah.
down by what actors, what's the most films that an actor has been in your
Hmm.
collection. Like for
Hmm.
example, Samuel Jackson has appeared in more movies in my collection than any other actor.
I think that's probably. I think you could probably answer that for most people's collections. To be honest,
Yeah.
he's been in a lot of movies.
So I use that app and I scan my movies every time I get them in. I'll unpackage them. I'll put them in their rightful place, and I'll scan the barcode. It goes right into the app. So I'm right there at 1,169 movies right
Cool.
now.
Yeah, that's a healthy collection. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of to answer a question probably other people, if they listen to the show, know the answer to, but just for you, I think it's very ironic, and I can't bring myself to store my collection on a physical media collection on something that's not physical media, if that makes sense, like an app.
Yeah.
But again, almost hypocritical. I don't count my Excel spreadsheet as non-physical media. That's kind of like it's manual, it's this and that, rather than scanning a barcode. So many of my friends have recommended the app. CLZ is definitely one they've recommended, or Blu-ray.com, and you can scan them in. And I started to do it once. I wouldn't recognize the barcodes on a lot of stuff. I don't know whether it was the lighting in the room, but I have such a big collection. I'm like, this is going to take me a month to do this. So I just didn't do it. I just gave up.
I'll tell you how long it took for me when I first got that app, which the app I use, it's never rejected anything I've scanned. It's completely international, and it can tell you what the disc is, if it's an international disc or not. That day when I got that, go right ahead.
So I was just going to say if you have a box set, does it catalog all 7 movies in that box set?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, and it actually lists the format of it too. So it'll be able to tell you whether or not if it's a Blu-ray or a 4K. But that day when I went through and I scanned it, because I love that app so much, it took me, no joke, it took me close to 3 hours.
Oh, okay. That's nothing.
And the only reason why I've got a app to scan it, other than that, I wouldn't have used it. But I got a little irritated with family and friends asking me, "Man, you've been collecting a lot. How many movies do you have? How many do you have?" And I never knew the exact number. So I said, "You know what? Let me just start scanning these so that I'll know how many I have."
Yeah.
So when anybody asks me how many movies I have, I'll know an answer for them. Because prior to me scanning, I would have told you, I would have said, I'm probably right over 800, but I actually had more than 800.
Yeah, wow. That's as we speak, legitimate. This is not made up. This is 100% true. My daughter has just sent me a text. She goes to what you guys will call a thrift store, but in Australia we call them op shops. She just sent me a photo of all these Blu-rays on this stand, and it's basically said, which ones do you need or want? Strangely enough, there's nothing in there I want, but yeah. That's funny, just as we're talking. She's great like that. She did it the other day at a store, and I picked up 5 great movies that I had never owned before. Yeah, that's great.
Wow. You know what's really interesting about going what we call thrifting? The good thing about going thrifting is that you can end up finding something that's out of print.
Oh yeah.
That's really incredible that most of those places don't have any clue what they have.
No, you're right. They don't. I went, because there's quite a few of them around where I live. I live in a decent sized city, I suppose, but I run into a couple of people. One guy was like, I had a great conversation with him because he was like, "Oh man, I thought I was the only one that did this." I said, "No, man, like I, had my own show and blah blah blah." And he's like, "Oh wow, really?" And I said, "Yeah, man, I'm a head case as well." But there's another guy I bumped into. He buys stuff that he knows will have value, and he just resells on eBay. So does that do you any good? He said, "Yeah, it pays the bills." Well, okay, so
hey, at least he's being honest.
yeah. But he was being very selective in what he chose. Obviously, he's choosing stuff that is going to make him money because eBay tax and all that. So yeah, it's really interesting. So do you do a bit of thrifting? Do you shop that way much?
I don't.
Okay.
And the reason for that being is that because now, since in the past 2 years, since I did start back collecting again, I've made it kind of like my priority. And this is not to say that I have anything against DVDs or even Blu-rays. I've made it a priority that now, if something's available in 4K, unless it's a really, really crappy transfer, I'm buying the 4K. So most of my collection now is predominantly 4K. So I don't really have I don't really go thrifting because I'm not one of those types that go look for Blu-rays or any of
Hmm.
that nature. But we do have, and I talked about this during one of my lives. We do have a shop here that just opened a few months ago that sells used and new physical
Hmm.
media. So I'll browse that area. Like, for example, if there's a TV show that they only did the
Yes.
DVD for, I'll
Yes.
buy it all day long. Same thing goes for the Blu-ray. I'll buy it all day long. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Again, pretty much the same as me. Like I have a few rules. I will not buy a film on DVD unless I find it in a thrift store and it's like an old 80s comedy that will never get any other type of release. It's the only time I'll buy
yes,
it. It's the only time I'll ever get
yes,
it. Otherwise, it's Blu-ray or above. And if it's a 4K, I'll get the 4K. Yeah, so very similar. Yeah, and TV on DVD is fine by me. But again, if the TV's on Blu-ray, I'll get the Blu-ray rather than the DVD. So yeah, same.
exactly,
Trying to get it as the best
exactly.
quality as you possibly can, right? So yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that's why we spend a lot of money on our TVs and our 4K
ab-
players.
absolutely, absolutely, yeah, yeah. We buy the best we can, so we don't have to go to the cinema and
Yeah,
get annoyed by people. I mean, the cinema experience can be quite good, but I mean, I've seen American cinemas how you guys have no manners at all. Like some people, how you cheer and carry on at movies. Like you see clips of people watching No Way Home and whatnot, those superhero, and they just carry on. It's like this isn't sport. I can't hear
yeah,
what's being said now. I reckon that's why they make money because people have to go back and rewatch them so they can hear what the hell
yep,
they missed out on. Yeah,
yep. If it were me, I would have like a cell phone ban in the movie theater. I really would.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
don't you're not permitted to bring your. If we catch you with your phone, you're out of here.
yeah. Look, Australia's very polite because I think in Australia, if people carried on like that, there'd be someone in the cinema because I mean we're a very polite society, but someone would say, "Shut the fuck up, sit down, or get out, or try and beat them up." They'd create a
Yes.
fight. It's like, mate, I'm trying to watch a fucking movie here. That's the way it would go in Australia.
Yeah.
And yeah, someone would do it. I'd be sitting there waiting. Can someone just do that so I don't have to? That's what it'd be like for
Yeah.
me. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. I don't want to be that guy.
No, 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 absolutely not. If someone wants to be it, I'll back you up, but I'm not going to do it first because I don't want these 14-year-olds stabbing me. So yeah. Is there anything that you regret buying? Anything in your collection that you're like, oh, I wish I hadn't got that?
Is there one that I regret? Yes, there is one. This is gonna be controversial depending on who you ask, okay? I got a story behind this one. And the thing is, I can't bring myself to sell this out
Oh
of
yeah,
print release, but
I'm intrigued.
it's it is
Oh, Barbarella, I would buy
but
that. Barbarella, do you not like Barbarella?
I know a little bit about it, but when I was watching it, because I fell into that whole FOMO stage at the time that came out, and there were
Yeah, I wish I had
so
that.
many YouTubers that were hyping that release beyond oblivion. So I said, you know what? I do. I said, you know what? I do like Jane Fonda.
I love
I think
Barbarella.
she was.
I
I
watched that for
thought
the
she
first
was.
time last year. I thought it was great. I would 100% snap that up because I've never even seen that set before.
I sat there and I watched it. I said, what is this that I'm watching? I guess I didn't really appreciate
It's
it for the
strange.
time period
It
that
is
was in. It was
strange.
a really strange movie, but I said, no, everyone's giving me a lot of shit for my take on this. I said, maybe I need to just come back to this and revisit it at another time and watch it again. But I just didn't get it. I honestly didn't get it. I didn't get it the first time I watched it. So
Have you seen it more than once?
only seen it that one time, just that one time.
Okay. I'd
Um,
recommend I'm a big advocate for movies need I think some movies need multiple chances. I mean, I've had movies that I'm not big on, then I watch them again and again, and I'm fall in love with them. Some of my all-time favorite movies have turned up that way. But I mean, I watched Barbarella once, and I was like, "This is great, this is great." And I didn't realize Jane Fonda was so damn hot. She was sexy as hell.
yes,
I know that's what she was known for, but
yes.
she was old when I got to know her. But no wonder she was a sex symbol. I didn't realize. I love that kind of weirdness, to be honest, in movies. But it's a good choice. But I'll give you my address to send it to.
All right, you got it.
And it'd be, the shipping alone would probably cost more than the movie. It'd be crazy.
You've got it. You've got it. But
Uh,
yeah, I'll give it another try. But that's probably the only one I can think of off the top of my head when I think of something that I instantly regretted buying. And it's sad because
hmm.
I know that movie. I know a lot of people appreciate that movie.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's the one that I feel like, okay, that's one I could have done without. For now, I'll revisit it. I will
Yeah, that's
revisit it.
I totally get it. It's a very strange movie, especially for its time. And I would understand why anyone would look at that and go, "This is what the hell is this?" I totally get it.
Yeah.
I just vibed with on the day I watched it. I just vibed with it really hard. I thought it was really good. But yeah, I just looked it up on Amazon right now. It's $73 to buy on Amazon for me. So it's not
Oh,
bad
that
for that
limited
release, to be
edition that
honest.
I've got.
Yeah, yeah, it's not bad for that release, to be honest, being that it's out of print and whatnot. I think it's an Amazon US release. I don't think they released that in the UK.
I'm
But
trying to
anyway,
think. I'm trying to think if there's one other one. I don't want to say it was a regretful purchase. It's just I didn't get into it right away. That's another one
hmm.
I'll have to revisit. One of the Criterion movies that I have, it's a Donald Sutherland movie. Gosh,
Okay,
what's the name of that movie? Give me a second. I'm gonna go grab it.
yeah, sure.
It's
That's
actually
I'm hoping you're not going to say Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but I don't think that got a Criterion.
no, I love Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
It is actually
Clute? Oh, is it Clute? With I bet you it's Clute.
nope, it's not Clue.
Oh, okay.
Where are you? Where are you?
Donald Sutherland got.
Oh God, I've got it. I found it. And I think it's mainly because I just didn't really get it. It just started off weird.
Yeah.
Don't look now.
Oh, yes. Okay. I will. I have Don't Look. I actually watched Don't Look Now, might have been last year, and I was like, why is this so well loved? And then it sat with me for ages. Like after I watched it,
Yeah.
it sat with me for weeks. And then I ended up
Yeah.
buying the 4K. I haven't watched it again since, but I brought the 4K because it was cheaper during an Amazon Prime sale, I think. But that's a movie that I think I know I need to give another chance. That's one of those what I was talking about. Like movies need another chance. So yeah,
Same here.
yeah,
I have to give it another chance.
yeah. I get your point of view with that one though, because yeah, it is. It's pretty just not the movie I was expecting. For me, it wasn't what I was expecting it to be. Yeah.
Yeah, that one there, it started off very confusing. It's like one of those that you have to really pay attention to. You can't miss
Mm,
a single cut of that movie, or you'll just
yeah.
you'll just end up lost. So I
Yeah.
said, let me come back to this where I can just shut my phone off and give this
Mm-hmm.
movie my 1000% attention, so I can understand why this is loved so much. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I haven't given up on it, but that's like my number two that I kind of
Okay.
regret.
Yeah, fair, fair. No, I get that too. But I'll say I agree. But I went and brought it myself as well after I'd seen it, not before.
Yeah.
Because I just think I know it's going to be one of those movies that I end up really liking. Yeah, I've got quite a few like that. Where if I think it's a mid movie, I'll still buy it generally especially if it's cheap, obviously, and go, yeah, I'll give that another crack one day. Is there anything that you want to get a 4K transfer that hasn't? Do you have anything in mind there?
Oh boy, there's a lot of them that come to mind. I made a post about one today actually. There's a movie that was made back in the 80s. And fun fact, it's celebrating its 40th anniversary this year. So there shouldn't be a reason why Warner Brothers wouldn't do the 4K for it, but one of my favorites is a Crush Groove. It's a hip hop
Oh,
movie.
are you
Yeah,
serious?
yes.
Okay. I've never seen Crush Groove. I've only ever heard of it because of Dogma. Do you know this
Yes.
Dogma?
Another
Yeah.
person sent me a DM today after I made that post, and they referenced Dogma. They even
That's
said the whole line that was in the
yeah, yeah.
movie from it. And
Crush
I said, what?
Groove.
You don't like Crush Groove? He said, no. He said, I was just reciting the line from Dogma. He
Yeah.
said, I've never seen
Because
it before, but yeah, that is a classic hip hop film, and it's got the Fat Boys in it. It's the Fat Boys' very first movie that they were in. A lot of people know the Fat Boys from Disorderly. A lot of
oh
people remember the movie Disorderlies. but it was Run DMC's first film debut. It basically tells the story of how Def Jam got started.
Oh, right. Okay.
Really, really great film. That one, and I would say most of the ones I want to see go to 4K is probably part of that whole Touchstone Disney catalog more
Yeah,
than
yeah, yeah.
anything else.
Yeah, there's a lot
Most
there.
of them, yeah,
And The Rock and things like that, right? Yeah.
yes, yes. Which I'm thrilled that Con Air is getting a release this year.
Yeah.
And I think, honestly, I think Sony has a lot to do with that influence. I really do.
Yes.
Because
Oh,
Disney wasn't
absolutely.
doing it before.
No, absolutely. There was a strong rumor that Disney actually had a whole bank of those type of movies already mastered in 4K. They had them remastered, and
Mm-hmm.
then they Disney don't give a shit about physical media, so they just treat it so badly, which is weird. Like Disney are in the business of making money more than any company on the planet, next to Apple.
Oh, yeah.
So why? I mean, even releasing any physical, it's going to make them some money. It's not a lost
Mm-hmm.
business, but the fact that they completely abandoned it and sold everything. So I think, yeah, the Sony deal is going to bring some. That's why we got Signs and The Sixth Sense, right? That was the first beginning of those,
Exactly.
right? So two
Yes.
movies I didn't bother upgrading as much as I love them. Again, I don't want to. They don't seem like upgradable to me, but thanks to Sony, they've also started putting Dolby Vision on their discs as well, because everything before that they just didn't want to pay the license. So yeah, it's
Exactly.
promising signs. It's promising signs, but for me in Australia, I have to pay like $60 to $70 per movie if I want to buy it. So yeah, it makes it tough.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Con Air was one of them, which all the ones so far that I could think of is getting a release this year. Con Air,
Yeah.
there's Fight Club, which Fight
Mm.
Club is getting a release this year.
Yes, that'll be a must.
What's another one?
Is
Also,
getting one too.
there's the Fox catalog too that
Oh, it's
Fox never
massive.
got a chance to actually put out yet.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
when I think about the Fox titles, I think about let's put the rest of the Die Hard movies in 4K. We've
yeah,
got the first one. Let's put the rest
yeah.
of them in 4K, especially the third one. The third one is probably my
Oh,
second favorite Die Hard next to the first one.
it's actually it is my favorite. I love With Vengeance. I think it's amazing.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
It wasn't
yes.
even written as a Die Hard movie. Like it was written just as a spec script, and they said, and the studio was like, we can make this a John McClane movie. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that movie there, it was the most tense Die Hard movie that's ever been
mm.
made, and it was
Jeremy.
very. You know what? I could see that being my favorite Die Hard movie. Now that I think about it,
I think Jeremy
it was
Irons is a
one
better
that,
villain.
yeah,
He's a better villain than, God forbid, say Alan Rickman. I mean, Alan Rickman's a treasure, but yeah,
yes.
Jeremy Irons was better.
I would say the first Die Hard is memorable in a lot of people's favorites because if it depends if you're on that side of the fence or not. If you think it's a Christmas movie or not, there's that
It,
argument, and
it's not like that all the time.
and the other part of it is that it's got the better one-liners in that movie.
Yeah.
It's filled with so many one-liners in that movie that made that one special. But
Yeah.
I would say from a story perspective, 3 was stronger. It was definitely stronger.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the puzzles for one thing. You've got to go around solving these puzzles, and then the chase and the run and getting to one venue to the next. It's great. It sets a through ride the entire way.
Yeah. And what better way to actually make sense of the title of the movie, Die Hard? I mean, he's going through some shit in that third one, like deeper shit than he went through in the first one.
And he's hungover. So
yes.
So it would have been a very tough day. Yeah.
Yeah, he's hungover, divorced, everything in that movie. I mean, yeah, it was great. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to say it's my favorite too. Just thinking
Talked you into it. That's great.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that get a 4K. I don't actually have the first Die Hard on 4K, but I have a box set of Blu-rays. So
if you can manage to find the first one, it's worth the pickup. That was a really good transfer.
Yeah, I heard that. I was on the shelves in my store so many times. It was $20, and I was like, "No, I'm not upgrading Die Hard." Blah blah blah. I don't know. And now that I can't find it, now I want it. I've got so many stories like that where I've just refused to get movies.
Yeah,
and they go out of print, and I can't get them anymore. Anyway.
Yeah, and then Also, just to finish off your question, had it not been announced so far this year, I would have said that would have been on my list too. But that's
Mm.
the Nightmare on Elm Street collection. But we're getting
Yes.
it this year, so
Yes, Warner are doing some great work this year. Blade trilogy as well. And yeah, there's quite a
yes,
few. I was happy with Amadeus coming next month. Like, I loved Amadeus. That was one of the ones I called out and
yes,
super
yes.
keen for that. Yeah. So I think we're almost at the end of the show. We've answered all I'm just looking down my list of questions and we've kind of gone through them all. So is there anything you want to add? Anything else you want to ask me along the way? Or
Let's see here. That's probably, I would say, what is your, because I didn't get a chance to ask you, what is
Mm.
your purchase that you regret?
I've never really thought about it, even though I ask it of people. But there's probably quite a few, to be honest. Okay.
Really?
The easiest answer for me is that going back to the cataloging, I catalog, but I don't have them on an app. So I've got quite a few that I've purchased for a second time. And I'll give you a recent example. There was a sale on a website down here. They had 30% off stuff. And because we don't have Disney, this company actually brought the last remains of Disney's titles that were still in the country. So they had a
Oh,
sale.
okay.
So the stock that was once Disney pulled out, they kind of purchased the remaining stock to sell. So they had a sale on some of the stuff. And because I'm a completionist of some kind, as much as I don't like or ever want to see the movie again, I picked up the 2019 version of The Lion King, the live action one. And
Oh, okay.
so I'll go to catalog it and I'm like, already got it. I'm like, that really bugged me, the fact I've already got that. So, and it would mainly be the duplicate buys that I would say I regret. I've certainly got a lot of movies that I blind buy and I watch, maybe not a lot, but a few, and I go, yeah, this isn't for me. I don't like it, but I won't get rid of it. I'll keep it in my, because I'm a collector, so I keep it to collect.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I have a whole box full of duplicate ones as well so friends I've met through here, obviously Australian friends, they have their duplicates and we go, well, I'd like that. They'd like that from mine. So we just post each other stuff to build our own collections and get rid of stuff. So yeah, it's not really a regret, but that's just kind of telling the story of the duplicates, to be honest. So yeah.
Yeah. I will say I never accidentally bought a duplicate before. I have purposely bought a duplicate before.
Okay.
And I've done that. I'm about to do it a third time actually.
What film is that for?
Well, I'll give you the first one right off the bat. So with my collection right here, I can easily go to two of the versions of it here. So my first purchase of this movie was through Kino.
Oh, yep.
And then I turned around
Got the
and
Arrow
got
version.
the Arrow. And you can probably already guess I have the Criterion Blu-ray as well. so I have all three.
Wow. So is that the only film you buy? Can I ask the reason why? Sorry, we're talking about The Silence of the Lambs. Is that just because it's like an all-time favorite film and you like to own multiple versions, or is there something different on them?
It's a little different. Now, obviously, both of these are 4Ks. The
Yes.
Kino as well as the Arrow.
Yeah.
The Kino version, the transfer that they did, it was pretty bad. Oh, I've got to make it quick because my phone's about to die.
Okay.
But this one, the transfer was really bad on the HDR. It was horrible. Arrow went through and fixed it. However, here's where things gets tricky. There are special features on that Criterion Blu-ray that's not on either one of these two versions. And there's a special feature on this one that's not on either the Arrow or the Criterion. So
interesting.
That's my reason for triple dipping.
Yeah.
I would have never done it. I would have never done it. But I said, well, I already have that Silence of the Lambs. I might as well get this one.
Fair enough. I need to pick myself up that Arrow one too, to be honest, at some point. Yeah, because I have a Blu-ray of it, and the Blu-ray is horrendous. It's not a good transfer at all. It's really bad.
You will love that. You will love that Arrow. It is fantastic.
Yeah, bring it on. Well, I guess while your phone is about to die on us, we'll wrap up the show. So look, Marquez, thank you so much for being on the show. It's been so much. It's actually been a treat. Been a really good conversation. I really appreciate you sharing your time with me and our listeners. So I hope you had some fun. I think you did by the sounds of it. Let's plug your channel again. So it's Q the Movie Collector on Instagram.
Yes, yes. And thank you so much for having me. This has been great. It's been great conversation. Probably one of the best podcasts I've ever been a part of. It's been great. It's been fun. I
Thanks.
love it. Hopefully you'll have me back sometime. It was great.
Yeah, of course, of course, Mel. If I pull my finger out and think of any other topic that for us to talk about, yeah, like I do plan to do some special episodes from now and then. So I maybe could hit you up come spooky season and we could talk some more horror around September or October if you
Hey,
like. That'd be great.
there
Yeah,
we go. There we go.
I'll chalk that up. I'll put that in my diary and remember to reach out to you at that time. But yeah, look, for the listeners, check out Marquez's page, Q the Movie Collector on Instagram, maybe YouTube by the time this episode is dropped. So keep an eye on his page to
It died. It died. It died. It died. It went
to
away.
see
It
what
went
happened.
away. It went away. It went away. No.
I can still hear you. Anyway, thank you everyone for listening. We appreciate you being here. KerbSide Collections is part of the SPDM crew and available wherever you get your podcasts. If you enjoyed this episode, give us a follow at KerbSide Collections on Instagram. And if you are a collector and would like to be on the show, send me a DM and I'd love to have you on the show and learn about your collection as well. And just have a general conversation about movies along the way. So until next time, thanks for listening to KerbSide Collections.